Hey y'all, welcome in. All right, it is all rainy and stormy here today, so it's extra dark. I have all my lights on and my camera is still very dark. Hope y'all are doing good. Got a fun stream planned for y'all today. I'm gonna go through our updates in just a second here. Alright, so we got Paint Aloha the Fallen Taverb God. Very nice. Taka, Mini Blaze, of course my husband, and then Seder is going to be here soon. Looks like they're on their way home. Early day. Very nice. Well, thank you guys for coming in and welcoming me. It always feels good. Alright, let's get through our little updates of today. Alright, so it's another lovely Tuesday. And for the question of the day, it is, what do you do with your failed prints? Do you toss them? Are they battle damaged minis? Try to fix them or display as cursed objects? We usually just toss them because we have a really low fail rate. It just doesn't happen very often. And we use them to make our like fancy render pictures on Patreon. So I don't want to show failed prints for that for obvious reasons. Our success rate is like honestly well above the 90s though. So that doesn't happen often. Good morning, Taylor. Welcome in and welcome back. I have not made any progress on Moo. Moo is still looking the same. One ear. Yeah. So, not a whole lot to update on the crochet baby. But on an interesting note, I finally finished illustrating our tabard pet. So we have our sticker. Obviously the colors are a little intense. When I point at the camera, it looks all glared out. There you go. You can see the color in that. And then I went ahead and made a different version here, which has more of an abstract look to it because I did my line work correct for once. Yay. So I have another like kind of different colored version as well. This is now the updated one that'll show up on the stream when you guys redeem Tabard Pet. So Moo is complete. And then I'll probably actually sell these as stickers at some point. Currently they're just for fun. If you want to see the actual like high res and color accurate version, I think I put them in Discord under share art. Yes, here you go. So these are like the more, well, it's still a picture of my iPad, so it's still like all tilted and stuff. But anyway, these came out really nice. And that 3D model will be coming out in about a week or so. But yes, the Tabard Pets continue. I haven't done any illustration work like this in a long time. So it took me a while to remember how to do things correctly. Lance is here. Hey, welcome back. Mini Blaze says, Mia, stop jinxing yourself. The printer gods will punish you. You know, something magical happens around like your 10th printer and hundreds and hundreds of prints. At some point, you become the god. But yeah, I had a lot of fun working on those stickers. It doesn't even feel like work. I just kind of like put on a show and trace over my sketch and get it all nice and cleaned up. So that's kind of relaxing and a different kind of art than what I usually do. So that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for introducing Tabard Pets and that whole thing. It's been a really fun side thing for me to work on. Okay, and then you guys can't see it right now, but during the welcome screen, Just Lingual and Mini Blaze finally have a brick. So yes, they've been included. Hey, Resting Witch Face is back. Welcome back. Morning, nerds. Pop in and say hello while I do my final. I love it. Awesome. Alrighty. The heist today has new odds. It's exactly 50-50. I've decided that the odds will be up to you, whether they're in your favor or not. So any of y'all complaining about the heist being rigged? Not today. It's exactly 50-50. And as a result, I have doubled the payout. So if you put in 5 points, you get 10 out. So 100% payout odds today. And it's all Necromancer themed. Alrighty. And then now the freebie of the day. So you can head over to my Patreon. This is free. You can join for free up here. You can pay if you want everything or to make requests that I model on stream. But just scroll down a little bit. Boop, right here, daily free STL. It's the same post every day that we update. And today it is a flayed ghoul. Someone on Reddit said it reminded them of something from Attack on Titan, which just made my day because I love Attack on Titan. So, yes. If you would like a flayed ghoul free for 3T printing, go ahead and go grab that. I have all the different base versions and the pre-supported for resin. So yes, flayed gouldness. And then I update this free model every single day. So if you are really diligent, you can get 365 free models a year. You gotta be pretty darn diligent. We haven't had any duplicates yet because my entire vault is over almost 1,000 now. And again, reminder, joining for free. And if you want stuff, it actually starts as low as $3 a month. There's a 7-day free trial, so there you go. Last thing of the day is talking about donation goals. Let's see. So today I decided to combine the D20 of Destiny and an offer to double happy hour because Ricky made this really wonderful breakfast. It was like a steak and eggs potato hash. It was just absolutely incredible. Ricky is the best. So I'm feeling supercharged and I'm not going to need to have a big lunch because I had a gigantic breakfast. Literally steak, eggs, potato, like I'm set. Which means it's going to be an extra long stream potentially. Alrighty, I'm going to get that set up. Obviously, never any pressure to donate, but today it's the first donation will get double rewarded. Double happy hour, D20 roll of destiny, and you get advantage on that, which means you technically roll twice and then pick your favorite of the two. All right, that is live now. Boop. And that is everything for our little intro here. Already got over 10 people in here. Looks like 15 or so. That's amazing. Welcome in, everyone. Don't forget to like the stream. It super helps out. During happy hour today, I will be reviewing student work and then probably working on more Taver pets as well. If you are a student and you have work you want me to review, don't forget to DM me right now. I see Maniac is already queued up. And if you have any questions specifically you want me to review, go ahead and DM them to me between now and happy hour. All right, that is everything. Hey, Ray's here. Hi, I'm late because I forgot to make breakfast. You must have breakfast, so good call. But yeah, I'm going to tie up my hair a little bit here because it is raining and it's an endless floof problem. I don't have very thick hair, but man, is it fluffy. Let's tie this up. But yeah, how was your guys' morning going? Again, I mentioned I was very lucky to have a lovely, wonderful breakfast made by my husband. Doesn't get much better. I'm very, very grateful. You know, it's funny, when Ricky and I first got together, he was a terrible cook. Terrible cook. Could not. He called cooking making cereal and PB&J. I'm like, is that cooking or is that assembling? Anyway, I can give him a hard time now because he has become such a wonderful cook and he's been grilling steaks almost every day. It's been wonderful. Oh, how'd this first result go? Ooh, you guys are doing decent. Reminder, the odds today for the heist are exactly 50-50, so up to you whether you're lucky or not. You got nothing to blame, nothing to hide behind but yourself. All right, well, we're kind of waiting for the stores open, kind of getting warmed up. I'm going to get some more work done on this Valkyrie. She is all posed, and now my only job is to get her really post-processed so I can go ahead and 3D print her. So let's go ahead and get to that. Perfect. The Empress says, as my teacher would say to the girls, this is not a cosmetology class. Please focus on your work, not your hair. Thank you. I had a teacher that was just like that too. But it's like so relaxing to like sit there and just braid your hair. I'm terrible at braiding my hair, but it is relaxing. RV says, Mia, today there's no update from me. Went on a drive and I'm tired, so not working on the model. Yeah, rest, recover. RV, you've had an update almost every single day, so definitely kick back. We'll continue tomorrow. Sounds good, absolutely no pressure. Again, you have just been such a hardworking student of mine, and make sure to relax as well. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get to work here. If you guys have any questions for me or just goofy comments and silly peasantness for me to attend to, don't forget to type out my name, M3DM. Ray wants to duel me for 100. Absolutely not. I have decided that I'm going to rig this to where I am at the top of the leaderboard where I belong. I've got to reestablish myself. Emperor says, OMG, is this the Valkyrie Reaper? She looks so good. Yes, this is our Valkyrie Reaper. We got 2 poses done for her. Those are her fingernails floating up here. You know, character creator does pretty good until it's like, not those. Yeah, this is our action pose. As you can tell, there's a lot of cleanup that needs to happen, but it looks pretty epic. And then we have our casual pose. Both of them are really strong. I'm super excited to get these all cleaned up and then 3D printed. I might actually paint these. We'll see. Maybelline says, ah, cheater. Is it really cheating if I am the system, though? All right, let's get to work. So I'm really kind of just going to work through this one step at a time. Whatever I see that's out of place, I'll fix it. Currently, the wings are not attached, so let's go ahead and attach those. But before I attach those, maybe I should make sure that there's no funny business happening right here. Yeah, like you can see right here, the tabards are kind of clipping through the model. So I'll grab my Move Topological brush. If I hold down Alt, it'll kind of pull the tabard towards the camera, which is really nice. Just prevents some shifting. So much of ZBrush, I swear, is just getting comfortable and figuring out how to move your dumb camera around, because it really changes how the brushes interact with the model. I'm going to make sure these tabards, at least one of them, touches the ground, just for 3D printing purposes. I find it really annoying to pre-support stuff that's like this far off the base. I'm like, just touch the base. If it causes like a really cool silhouette to form, then I don't mind, but there has to be a good reason for it. All right, that looks better. Now let's get these wings positioned. I like how tall they are, but they're a little high. So let me grab my move brush. I might grab mask lasso too, so I don't distort the whole thing. Blur that mask by holding Control and clicking, and then click and drag. Ray says, but Mia, you're the only one with enough points to make big bets consecutively. That's true. Maybe during happy hour if I'm feeling generous. Mini Blaze, Mia, what are those things hanging out like reflections? Is that normal? Hanging out like reflections, and is it normal? Can you draw a picture and put it in Discord? I'm not sure what the reflection is that you're referring to. RB says, Mia, chains are done on stream itself. If yes, if I missed that. Mixture of a curved brush, I expect. The chain brush is actually a free brush that used to be on Bad King, which is no longer a thing, but there are a bunch of nice, whatchamacallit, free chain brushes, or you can make your own too, with a curved brush. Yes, those are fingernails. That is so weird, above the model. Yes, I covered that first thing. I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, those are her fingernails up there. I mentioned character creators, and it doesn't grab onto them. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be cleanup that you need to do after you pose. Always, always. And that doesn't matter what software you use, what technique you use, you're gonna need to resculpt stuff. All right, one wing looks really nice, and I bet you this other wing will have a pretty similar shape. So instead of redoing those deformations, let's go ahead and just duplicate and mirror. There we go. Yeah, she looks pretty awesome. I like this one. I haven't decided how I'm gonna have her like veil tabard thing fit. So I'm gonna work on this for a little bit until our little mug slides all the way to Tavern Keeper's Craft, and then we'll get ready for the main event of the day. If you want to get a head start on that, you can go ahead and jump into our Discord and go look at Dwarf Children under Project References. There are a bunch of awful dwarf children art. I don't know why. It was like some of the hardest things to find references for. It's a lot of like AI glop, and it does not look good. So I will mostly just make a normal looking human child and then make it a little bit stockier. But for my warm-ups, I always like grabbing something that I've already worked on and then just doing some cleanup. Kind of gets me familiar with all the different hotkeys in ZBrush again, and then lets my brain idle instead of like jumping straight into making important design decisions. I encourage you guys to do the same thing with your work, like whether you're drawing, knitting, sculpting, whatever art form it is. Instead of just jumping right into a difficult project or something brand new, you can always just kind of like ease yourself back in, look at some old projects. I know when I do stuff with a pencil, I like to do a lot of like loose like shape sketching. Bunch of straight line practice, circles, cylinders, that kind of thing. Or not cylinders, but ellipses. One of my favorite assignments given my students to warm up is Create Bad, where you pretty much just scribble and doodle for 5 minutes. It's really fun, and sometimes you end up with something that's kind of nice. Hey, Steamworks is here. Hi, welcome back. Minnie says, the tree farm has commenced once again. Very good. Just Lingual says, maybe the dwarf kids with some sideburns. Not too adult, but kind of hinting at classic dwarf beard. I like that idea. I do. Steamwork says, what's up, everyone? Getting some stream time in during lunch. I love it. Welcome in and welcome back. Ray says, Mia, dwarfs tend to have big body, small head, and children tend to be the opposite. So it's such an odd balance to work out. I actually find that dwarf adults kind of had childlike proportions because they're only so many heads tall. But you're right, overall it is tricky. Ooh, a spiral ham sandwich. That sounds delish. Man, I am so happy with how this turned out. I'm really paying attention to make sure that I have wings all over this model. So sometimes you really have to ask yourself how many wings or too many wings. I think the wings on her shoulder are needed, but I just want to be careful that they're not taking up too much of the silhouette or like detail. As of right now, there's not a ton of places for your eye to rest. There's so much going on. If anything, like the skirt is kind of serving that purpose, which is unusual. So I'll definitely be doing a decent amount of review with this character just to make sure I actually want to keep every element that I sculpted here. Don't be shy to like refine your characters after they're posed. If something is making the design harder to read, get rid of it. Be ruthless. Minnie Vice says, wow, I'm cooking ham today. Wild. I like it. The peasants are in alignment today. Like most days. All right, she's looking pretty darn good. Oh, if you guys were here yesterday, you'll remember that I was talking to Yoni about 3D sculpting anime characters and how challenging that is. So I found some really good references for them, and I'll probably share them on stream if anyone else is interested in translating anime into 3D, because it's very, very difficult. I found some very talented artists that made some good headway, and there's a lot of different ways to approach it. Some more stylized, some more literal, some more realistic. All are really cool and valid answers. So if you guys are interested in that, I can kind of show you the references I gathered and shared with them. If not, we'll just move right on along. Maybelline says, Mia, are you going to be able to move the fingernails or you have to resculpt them? Oh yeah, I can move them. Those are really bothering you, aren't they? What? It's not that weird. They're just floating fingernails above the body. Emperor says, imagine you have normal child proportions, then bam, big body, small head. You didn't grow vertically, you grow horizontally. I had a friend that used to say that. Forward to Many Things is here. Hey, welcome back. Mia, model's looking amazing. Favorite thing I've seen so far. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is very high praise coming from another wonderful artist. Oh, speaking of, the Forward to Many Things, Matt, one of my students, finally, after much bullying, did share their art and self-promotion. So if you guys have been missing out on like, oh, Forward to Many Things, who is that? That is Matt. They're a student. They're fantastic. Go look at their stuff. They posted it in my Discord under self-promotion. They even gave a discount code for all of y'all. Their work is beautiful. This is the demand to the peasants. You must go look at their stuff and tell them how awesome it is, because it won't load. So you have to go look at it yourself. Oh, my mini factory. But it'll be there. So go look. Aggressive self-promotion of not self-promotion of a student. Ray says, ooh, I wonder if you came across the shaders that outline a model based on camera. That is a thing. I can do that using one of the render presets. Hey, Taylor's back. Hello, Reaper. Welcome back. Mini Blaze says, Mia, no, that was a question to learn. Eventually, I hope to catch Character Creator 4 on sale. Yes, it'll definitely happen sometime around Black Friday. That's when I got it. I know that's a bit of a ways out. But if you're not in a rush, honestly, you have so much to learn anyway. I wouldn't worry about it. And it's so not necessary. If you're not planning on doing multiple poses of a character, I wouldn't even recommend Character Creator 4, honestly. Just jump into Transpose Master, sculpt that bad boy yourself. It barely saves me time, honestly. It only saves me time because I'm utilizing multiple poses. Otherwise, it'd be about the same. And there is something to be said that if you just jump straight into Character Creator 4 instead of learning how to pose your own characters, you are kind of shooting yourself in the foot as far as like your understanding of how the body moves. Because you're just relying on presets to tell you, like, being able to make all the decisions and post stuff wrong and broken is a very valuable tool to learn from. Truly, I encourage you to learn how to pose yourself first. Empress says, Character Creator 4 sounds like something to hunt for coupons and sales for. You know, it's really not. You guys are spoiled. I love it. Character Creator 4, as far as 3D software goes, is cheap as heck. It's not even a subscription. It's a one-time. Go get. Meaning Billy says, Transpose Master, is that a future class? Of course. I got you. It's right here under Z plugin, Transpose Master. I will teach you that when you know how to append a subtool. We're a little ways out. One thing at a time. Yeah, Character Creator 5 is coming out. That is a good point. RB's just going to wait for that. Not a bad idea. But RB can do whatever they want because RB knows how to pose and sculpt already. All right, this veil is getting a little janky, so I'm going to go ahead and Dynamesh it. That way it has like even topology. So in case you're wondering like what I mean by janky, see this? It's not nice. What is this? Dad. So a couple things here. It makes it hard to sculpt on, and then it can cause 3D printing issues. It doesn't. It'd have to be really jacked up, and it would have to furthermore have a hole in it so it's not watertight. So why am I fixing it? So I can sculpt better fabric folds on it. There we go. And then ZBrush. Much nicer. Much nicer and easier to play with. Sweet. This model was so much fun. Beautiful. Taylor says, Character Creator is one time, even for updates. I don't know about updates, but purchasing Character Creator, yes, it is a one time. I believe I spent $180 US on it, but I cannot remember. It was under 200 for me. Mini Blaze says, I'm playing with my gizmo now. Very good. Continue. Aloha says, oh, excuse me, Mini Blaze. Oh, it's not that. You guys are such peasants. Peasants. Speaking of, do you guys want to see how this model was posed in Character Creator 4 before I continue? Because I have a video of that, so I can show you. Every time Ricky poses a character now, we take a video of it just in case you guys would like to see it. But obviously totally optional. Right now, Character Creator 4 is $2.99. Still a really good deal. For context, I pay $1,000 a year for a keyshot, so paying $300 once for a software is amazing. Ray says, show us, please. Okay. I gotcha. Peasants ask, peasants get. Sometimes. All right, so this is Character Creator 4, but first this is OBS. And I'm gonna show you guys what this process looks like. This is just a live video. It's 38 minutes long, not because it took that long, but because there might be some breaks in here. This is just Ricky recording his screen. There's the made construct. That is not the one we're doing. Here we go. So we're in ZBrush. The first thing you do is make sure you will already have a new subtool or Z plugin in here called Pose Tools, and that's built from Character Creator 4. You reset your scale, and then you send it on over. And the first thing you do is place all of your different joints on the body. So it'll tell you which joint is supposed to go where, and it gives you like two different views to double check where they're supposed to go. Once you get all those joints in place, you go ahead and rig it to where it creates bones using AccuRig. And then you can further refine all these bones. Usually any bones that are around the pectorals need to be adjusted, especially if it's a woman. And then I think after that it's fingers. Yes. Same thing, you do the fingers. And then all of that gets rigged up. With all those adjustments all fine-tuned, now you take all your soft clothing that's gonna bend with the model, and you pretty much assign it to the mesh, if that makes sense. So it's gonna bend with the mesh. So right here you see Ricky is kind of showing different pieces and seeing which ones he wants to bend and which one he doesn't want to bend. Because you don't want like an arm or shoulder pad to bend with the model and deform. You want that one to be linked up to a bone so it'll rotate with the model but not deform and bend. Because it's metal, so it shouldn't do that. So the first thing to do is put all your squishy stuff down. It says right here, calculating body skin weight. Squishy stuff is done. And now he's gonna go through and add all of the hard surface stuff. So like her helmet and boots, all that kind of stuff. Everybody says, Mia, are business-minded related questions okay or in private? Oh yeah, always okay. Especially if they're about my business. I'm super open book. Whatever you're comfortable sharing on your side is fine too. So yes, everything is visible. That's been linked up. He sends it to ZBrush one more time just to make sure it's not going to cause problems later on. That's just like an extra step just to make sure everything is talking to each other nicely. Now that everything is prepped, you can start making poses. I think he grabbed a preset right here, like someone that's swinging like a baseball bat, because there are some really strong presets already in Character Creator 4. And then from here, you can just start adjusting. If you look closely right here, these are all models that Ricky has posed and made himself. So we have our Eldritch Knight, we have that Harlequin I made, the Rhino. So it's an asset library of poses that we made ourselves. It's quite fun. That's a fun one. That's the maid pose where she's holding the tray. So right now he's just kind of seeing if everything is playing the way that he wants it to. And then what's really cool is you can see that he can fine tune individual body parts by rotating, or if he like pulls the wrist, it's going to pull the entire character forward. Pretty slick. Yeah, check that out. Isn't that cool? So you can grab that entire plane, it shifts the whole model. So it's a proper full rig. And again, this is Character Creator 4. Taka says, oh, imagine a character that has the perfect body temp so that metal would be soft and bend like fabric would. That'd be nifty, kind of like a molten lava creature. Emperor says, lol, just seeing characters do out of character poses. Isn't it fun? Ricky loves posing. He plays around a lot during this. But there you go. You guys can actually kind of see how this works. He puts in the scythe way after the fact because that's not going to append to a bone or bend, obviously. That is separate. So there you go. There is that pose that you guys saw me working on at the beginning of Doors Open. And then he sends that to ZBrush, and now I have that first action pose. And then he starts working on the second pose, which is going to be that casual, just normal standing one. This is actually the same pose for my Sorcerer. Do you guys remember the Imperial Sorcerer? We worked on that, a month ago. So we actually used that pose and then just tweaked it a little bit. But it's cool because it looks totally different because these characters have unique silhouettes. Pretty powerful stuff. So there you go. That is the process in Character Creator 4. And that's why I have this lovely lady. And where are her pants? And this one. Obviously not a tutorial, more of like an overview. That would be a terrible tutorial. Now you go do it. Jokes. Ray says, Mia, I want new people to suffer with manual skin weighting before they get the luxury of Character Creator 4. Oh my god, I feel you. I learned how to do this in Blender first, like manually painting on weights. When I first saw Ricky rig this up, I was like, doesn't feel fair. The Forge of Many Things says, there's something really cool about popping your characters into CC and then assigning mocap data to it. Seeing them move is a little magical. It really is. It's like they're coming to life. Minnie Blay says, I like that pose. Me too. Alright, this is being annoying. Every time I save it, it won't save where I want it to. It keeps saving Valkyrie next to it. Stop being like that. My dog is snoring real good. He's actually somewhat visible. That little black spot right there, that's his head. So yeah, he's just snoring away. We're getting ready to move on to the Tavern Keeper's Craft. But first I want to see which one of these is correct. Yep, it's this one. Why won't you save just in this folder? Do you want to replace? Yeah, that's where I wanted you the first time. Thank you. All right. Alo says, good news, Mia. The Forge of Many Things has been threatened for more content and advertising. Thank you. I've also been doing that, so please do. RB says, pose is great. Thank you, thank you. All right. It is time for the Tavern Keeper's Craft. So let's talk about it. Everything that I sculpt here is a request from Patreon. And this patron was Katie M, which is funny. We have a Katie Middleton and a Katie McRae. I think this is McRae. Yes. There you go. I'm working on a campaign and trying to have minis for just the villagers and NPCs. Could I get a little boy and girl dwarf twins? Maybe holding hands or playing together. Thank you, you're amazing. And then I said this is technically 2 models, but they fit on the same base. Too cute. I'm accepting both. I'm a bit of a sucker. That being said, you can't be like, can I get 2 dragons with super small? Also, Katie has supported me for 14 months. Once you pass a year of supporting me on Patreon, I'm pretty biased. I see your name, I recognize your name, I'm gonna spoil you. It's just how it goes. All right. So I went to go grab some references. Mini Blaze grabbed quite a few. And for some reason, Googling dwarf children gives you the most cursed AI garbage I've ever seen. It's hysterical. Like, what is this? It's funny, it's cute, but I'm like, there's some good ones in here though. I like the hairstyle right here. So Taka and I, oh gosh, yeah, this is Wolf's contribution. Thank you, Wolf. This was not helpful in the best way. Anyway, so Taka and I took it upon ourselves to try to find some better references, and they were more successful than I was. This is precious. I grabbed this one to remind myself of how this head shape is going to fit. Again, think of a triangle between like your eyes to your mouth, this triangle here. The smaller you make that, the more baby. The longer, the older something will look. And you can see that here, the distance between the eye and like the chin, essentially. So why can't I do a triangle? I know how to do this. There. This triangle, the shorter it gets, the more baby. The longer... that wasn't successful. Anyway, Taka found this image and I went insane for it. This is the one I'm going to base today's model on pretty heavily. I plan to do a little girl and a little boy because kids kind of look the same, honestly. So I can like make the same model, but just dress them up differently, and that will really just make them look like a girl or a boy. So yes. I think Taka is still here. I'm going to go ahead and give them points. They get points for this because they were such good references. And then Mini Blaze, of course, not so much because today's were super successful, but because you do it every darn day. And that is very appreciated. Very good. Taylor says, Taylor, Beth, is this a third Taylor? No, that is Reaper. I mean, yes, there are now 3 of you. Paint says, do I get point for memes? You know what? Because it was a high quality meme. Yes, you do. But you don't get as many. You get 10. All right, everyone has been, poing has been distributed. Let's get rolling today. Donation goal ends in a minute. If it doesn't get met, it's totally okay. But I'm letting you know, it's expiring. All right, let me get my dwarf base meshes. Do I have some or do I go grab a child? First thing I'm gonna do is just open my beginning ZPR to kind of get this rolling. This is kind of a unique model. It might be really tricky, it might be really easy. I'm really not sure until it starts happening. Ray says, oh, it's generous, Mia, today. Yes, sometimes. I gotta change it up every now and then. All right. Here's my master tools, Z bodies. All right, I have a dwarf base. I'll go ahead and grab that. But I also think I have some children. I think I have like a chunky kid that I made a while ago. Here's my human variants. Yeah, oh, I have orc children already done. They're really tall and kind of lanky though. But their faces are mostly what I'm wanting. The little boy looks hysterical. Yeah, I can start with this. First thing we're gonna do is give y'all some clothes. None of that. You can definitely tell what base meshes that I created before I started streaming regularly. And now I'm like, I have to give people little shorts now. Little modesty shorts. Just Lingual says, big breakfast, man. It's true, I was fed today. I feel very happy. So am I gonna go with a beard or not? I like Just Lingual's idea where it was just like kind of doing like a sideburn. I think that's gonna be successful. Doing a straight up beard, I think will just not read very well. So I probably won't do that. Is this like just a sphere? I don't know why this is here. Delete. And I'm gonna take my time because I've been getting so many requests recently, which is wonderful, that it's really worth creating these different base meshes to come back to. Ray says, Mia, did you set the highest profit back to 100? Yes, I did. And the win-loss back to 50. Yes, I did. Empress says, I have some questions about your time before streaming. It was a lawless time. Oh, Sader's here. Welcome back. Maybe it'd be easier to use the dwarf base actually, and then just make the face more childlike. I have options here. Yeah, because these are so tall. You know, they really don't change in proportion that much, which is really funny, honestly. Yeah, we're gonna just improve my dwarf base mesh here, which I did make somewhat recently. Sader says, shh, I'm creeping. Sounds good. Always watching. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete all these other like asset library pieces I have just hanging out right here because I'm gonna be working on the body for a while. And the more tools you have opened like this, it makes your autosaves lag, and I'm really not in the mood for that. So we're going to make this an dwarf children base. So let's get to it. Looking like a dude right now. And I want a little girl and a little boy, and I want them to look young. So I got my work cut out for me. First thing I'm going to do here is probably fix the poly paint. I like my models to look pretty coherent and pretty cohesive. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my beginning ZPR so I can color pick from that same body and make it look mostly the same. Or you know what? I can just do it from scratch. Gonna go to like this reddish pale color over here, fill object, and then make sure my materials are correct. I like using a skin shade and then having my light set up. There's two. I have one kind of the top left and then another warmer one that kind of bounces off, usually to the right. Sometimes I stack them up on the left as well though. Then I'm going to adjust my scene where I bump the contrast just until I see the background darken a touch, and then grab this graph and drag straight up. This is pretty high contrast and dramatic. It's also just so it's easier to see on stream. Empress said, if I remember correctly, you mentioned it's easier to shave things down than build them up. So it makes sense to start with an adult dwarf and give him a shaving. I agree. That is kind of an unhinged way to talk about it. I like it. It reminds me of like when sheep are sheared, they look like they're peeled. It's kind of the same. I'm going to leave that conversation there. Okay, moving on. Alrighty. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of color and life here because it's so samey and creepy looking. I pick a slightly darker color and a little more red, and then use dots, but lower my RGB intensity so it's not so harsh. And that can kind of add a little bit of color to like the elbows. I find like the wrist, the fingertips, kind of by the shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Literally how I'm coloring this right now. Okay. Same with the nose, the ears, and the lips. His eyebrows are absolutely unhinged, and I love them, but they're going to be a little more calm and much less angry. But not sad, just like, okay, we're going to Dynamesh you because you look ridiculous. All right, Dynamesh and then ZRemesher. Paint says, can we have a beard baby small model? Nah, too much work. That requires real money or a real request. Babies are difficult. I avoid sculpting babies at all costs. They're just like these little featureless blobs. All right, getting some eyebrows shaped. I really don't need to work on this too much because I'm moving the rest of the face around so much. All right, they're a little far apart. There we go. And now let's make it more like a little kid. I got my work cut out for me. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put a little stamp up here so you guys can remember what we started with. Let's go ahead and start with the face. I'm gonna go ahead and hide the eyebrows entirely and then scroll up to my reference right here to kind of start getting these proportions in check. We're not quite going like this little kid, that's like a toddler, but closer to that. Why is this ear mesh so goofed up? I'm just gonna smooth you and stop. Why? And be good. All right. Making this ear smaller and then changing these features. I'm gonna have it on my lowest resolution and this is gonna go pretty fast. So if you guys have questions, please let me know. Essentially, I'm just shortening up the face like I mentioned earlier and just making everything look more like a little kid. So adding a lot more fat. And to do that, I am adding cheek. So I'm using my move brush and just holding down Alt. I'm also smoothing like strong brow ridges, all that kind of stuff, which essentially just adding more fat to the face. I'm giving it kind of like a flat head because that just feels dwarfish to me. And I need to make this neck not so absurdly thick. I don't want to work on one side for too long. It is a 3D model, so I'm going to rotate it somewhat soon. I'm going to pull the front lip forward a bit more and then soften the chin. More like a this shape on the face. Okay, this face right now is reminding me of Sandal from Dragon Age Origins. If you know, you know. Enchantment. All right, we are a bit more baby. Again, not going full baby, just like not old Chad man. So now I'm fixing everything from the front as well, which is pretty much the same thing, just softening a lot of features and then adding lots of fat. Just Lingual says, what are forehead dimensions of different children? Add forehead eyebrow ridge like an orangutan. Many options. Hey, Clute's here. We took Winnie to a pug cafe and called Cup of Pug, where she got to play with a bunch of resident pugs and people that love pugs. Oh my god, where is that? That sounds magical. Also, welcome back, Clute. It's been a little bit. So the face is a little too long, so I'm going to just grab Mass Lasso and we're going to scrunch up the proportion. So see this? Older, also deformed, but older. Younger, more baby. See? And I need to start removing some material because the neck is so thick and weird. And I also need to make the head just larger in general. God, this is really creepy. Don't you worry. It's all gonna make sense. It's all gonna make sense. She said confidently. I knew this was gonna be a bitch today. I think having like a wider nose and a wider mouth is going to suit a dwarf though. And I can go with a heavier brow ridge than I normally would because it is a dwarf. Empress says, holy age reversal. I told you it happened fast. So if you're any of my students or 3D artists and enthusiasts, if you're like, what the heck? What just happened? You can either rewind or ask me questions and I'll tell you about it. It's not perfect, obviously, but I did something right. All right, now I need to make these arms much less muscly. I've seen like some weird kids that are like super muscly, but for the most part, children are not muscly. So, oh my god, he looks so creepy. Nyeh. It's fine. All right, we're gonna start adding some other things to this character because I would also look scary with no eyebrows or color on my eyes at all. I think kind of like a redhead would be cute. Is there a cap? OMG, there's a cap. That menace. What cap? Cap for payout? What did you find? What limit have you found? You're breaking stuff. Yeah, the children of acrobats. Yeah, they're super ripped and weird. But I mean talented. I said that sounds so judgy. That's not what I meant. All right, this ear is a little neglected, but it's getting the job done. We're gonna move on. All right, so we have gone from Chad to Babyface in about, I don't know, 10 minutes? Was it 10 minutes? I'm not sure. And now I'm going to start making the body a bit more childlike, but I have to be really careful here because it's a dwarf. So I do want stuff to still look really stout compared to what I normally would do for a kid. But I can raise up these pectoral muscles because they definitely wouldn't be that low or that defined. And then the shoulders are so weird and broad, but like, I kind of want that for the dwarf anyway. Okay, I don't want to lose some bony landmarks. One that's really important is the acromicon, whatever. I can't talk, but I know what I'm talking about. There's a bump right here where your clavicle, your collarbone, goes to the top of your deltoid right here. There's a bump. It's called a bony landmark. There's a bunch of them throughout your body that are just nice little spots to not lose definition on, so you know what the heck is going on. So I can go ahead and find that by tracing. There we go. Let's get in just about right there. Neato. Other really common bony landmarks would be like right on your pelvis and then like your shoulder blades, which don't look like that, but that's roughly the right placement. Oh, don't want that. The fact that this kid is bald is definitely part of the problem. I will fix that. Ray says, Mia, it wasn't letting me heist with 40 poing, but it will let me use 20. Maybe that's a skill issue. But seriously, the limit on heist is way higher than that, so I'm not sure. So you can't start a heist right away after you just started and ended one. There's like a 2-minute cooldown. But the max amount... Oh, nope, you're right. I totally did cap it by accident, I think. When did I... Whoops. I didn't... I think I fixed it. Good catch. Alrighty, and then I'm probably gonna use the same base for the children for male and female because they're not gonna be that different. Maybelline says, but being kids, they're still grown, so we won't see a lot of definition of the bones, muscles. Oh no, you will definitely see bony landmarks exist in children too. If anything, maybe more. Ray says, I knew I wasn't dumb. Skill issue, you say? Oh, and like your sternum bone. There's a bump right here too, but I don't know that one as well. I know it's a thing though. There we go. All right, that's about all the adjustments I want to make. And now to add some poly paint and some eyeballs. Aloha says, I'm a sleepy panda today. I couldn't model a lot. You and RB Gaming are taking a bit of a break today, and that's good. Both of y'all. Take a break. Kick back. Enjoy the stream. Don't worry about it. RB and Aloha are both students of mine in my mentorship program, learning how to 3D model, though RB has been doing this already for a long time. Point being that they're both students of mine, and they've been working really hard, so I'm really encouraging them to just kind of kick back and take some time off. Don't work every day. Only crazy people do that, like me. Right now I'm working on the eyelids a bit here. And then we use Move Topological to make sure I only grab the skin, but not the eyeball itself. All right, that's good enough. Kind of going for like this, more of like an almond shape here. And I'll be checking from the side view too, because I could tell it was getting a little sunken back. That's good. Spicy Ray, careful. You criticize your overlord and I will tax you. Oh my gosh. Justling gave Ray 1 point for emotional damage caused by Mia. I make one joke. Oh, Ricky asked second coffee. Yes, I missed it. Why did no one tell me? This is so important. Yes. Yes, please. There he is. My breakfast high is not wearing off. I'm getting work done. And a little bit. Adding a little bit of shading to the eyes. Even more of a red nose. And I think maybe some freckles would be cute. Hello.
Ignoring me?
I didn't mean to. I was ignoring all my peasants. I got you the second time. And I was in here like, I don't know if you saw me say yes. Yes.
And tomorrow would be the 3rd.
Oh my gosh.
It's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill from here. Right. Whoa, Mia. Let's not be so hasty on the tax. That's what I thought. All right, time to color some eyeballs. Honestly, I haven't colored eyeballs in a while. I am feeling not very confident about coloring eyeballs, so we will see. I usually make them a separate object entirely. You know, I'm just not going to suffer for no reason on this. I'm going to go grab some eyeballs that I already made. How's that? Maverick, do you have to do that? Your dogs wake up and they just have like the driest like cotton mouth and they just start like lip smacking and I'm like, you're good. You have a bowl of water right there. You guys see his little tail going. He's like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, you're a good man. Oh, sorry. There's just boobs on the screen. My bad. Not that kind of stream. Alrighty. We're going to grab some eyeballs. That's what we're here for. Man, back to back streams with that. I swear it's totally not related to our view count going up. I am joking. Oh, I need to stop. We are adding eyeballs. These are already painted. That's why I grabbed them. And they have the right material on them as well. Goodness. Foot and mouth syndrome. These aren't even like incredibly painted or whatever, but they get the job done. And I don't want to spend the time doing it right now. I'm not even gonna look at the chat right now because I know you guys are probably roasting me. He looks kind of mean, like a mean kid, or just bored. Eyebrows are powerful. YouTube is not gonna like that. Don't tell anyone then. I need to delete that subtool. Again, I didn't have to worry about this stuff until I started streaming. Prudes. Alright, I don't think... Oh, that's the right material. Never mind. Oh, these are flip-flop. The eyes are in the wrong spot. I'm saying, like, why is he looking like this? I must have accidentally swapped them earlier. Whoops. I can fix that. I will grab one eyeball and I will move it over. There we go. I was gonna say, I'm like, he looks insane. And not just because he's bald and... There we go. Okay, we got some life. It's happening. It's happening. Emperor says, that's a mean kid right there, as kids can be. Why are kids so mean? Oh my god. Kids terrify me, genuinely. God. Don't even get me started. Tabard quotes. Yeah. Wow, why is Seder giving Taka poing? What is this? And you failed to do it. That's even funnier. Just kick him. They're very puntable. This is true. I don't think I can say that on YouTube either. Okay. Alright, his arms are freakishly long. He is a dwarf, but like... we're gonna make his arms a little shorter. There we go. And then this needs to divot a bit more. We're kind of losing some of this wrist to hand definition. I'm looking. There's some bumps right here. There we go.
Coffee.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Coffee. Second coffee.
Is that good?
I haven't tried it yet. Does it have love?
Yes.
Then it's good.
Sometimes love is darker some days, so.
It's a little bitter today. Ray says, Mia, what did you make the cap for Heist, by the way? I don't know. What do you want it to be? I didn't raise it very much. I don't know why. Sorry. I'm putting it to 100. How's that? Mini Boy says, did I hear that wrong? Or should you just say other thumbs? No, I just mumble sometimes. I've gotten better at speaking since streaming a lot. I don't have like an official stutter. I don't know if that needs to be official or not. But sometimes I get hung up enough where it feels like I have a stutter. Ray says, Mia, please like make it 1,000. I could. Or like 500. That's a lot of point. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys are so weird. Like, you're not even spending it on anything. You're just like bullying each other with it. It's just so odd. I don't understand my peasants. Okay, I did it. It's super high. It's 1,000. Go nuts, y'all. Speaking of, if y'all go to the top of the chat right here, this pinned message is a Poing store, and you can make stuff pop up on screen. Like hearts. Nah, this is all I have for sale right now. Again, it's not real money, it's Poing. So by chatting and watching, you guys earn this, or by doing heists. So just a reminder, these are things you guys can get. I would say there's at least 2 things that would be of value to each person that you guys would for sure care about. Some people don't like dogs, but maybe you like a mushroom. There's Moo. So yes, just a reminder. And then let me know what you guys want for the stream, like confetti effects, heart, whatever. It's just a fun little thing that I can get going. Ray says, thank you. You're welcome. Justin Lingle says, maybe I need to stream. My friends tell me I sound like a textbook when I talk. I mean, that would be a certain kind of audience, but yes. Sater says, you all heard it. I'm a bully now for trying to gift my Poing. Yeah. That's not news. Mini Vice says, you did not introduce yourself. Don't get spoiled by the regulars. I am spoiled by my regular peasants. But yeah, my name is Mia. That is the M in M3DM models, Mia's 3D models. It's actually my husband and I that do this. And we make 3D printable models for a living. So these are all tabletop goodness. People support me on Patreon and they get access to every model I've ever sculpted, and they can put in a request. So it's a win-win for everyone. So for example, if you were to support on Patreon and request your D&D character, I sculpt it, you get your D&D character, I get money, and then everyone else who supports me also gets access to that character to make a PC, a big bad evil guy, really whatever they want. So it's kind of like this upward spiral community. Been doing it for 6 years, so I'm doing something right. Just Single says, I mean, maybe I would sound less like a textbook if I talked to random internet peoples. Yes, this is true. And yeah, it's Mia's 3D models, but I've also been known to be mean 3D models, menacing 3D models. It depends how much I'm bullying my peasants. Mini Boy says, we want pet emojis for Moo and the others. Sounds good. I have... the emojis would only be available to those that are members of the channel, just letting you guys know, because I don't want to... because you're not a channel member of Mini Boys, I'd feel bad if you asked for it and then I did it and you couldn't even use it. So I'm just letting you know. Oh, Ian's here. Ian Porrell. Hey, welcome. You're a patron, aren't you? I recognize your name. You've been here before. Hello. Ian says, Mia's 3D models makes way more sense than I thought. Mechanical, 3D engineered, or dungeon master. I kind of love that too. So the M3DM works for a lot of ways. You got 3D, you got DM, but it is supposed to be Mia's 3D models. Ray has corrected, it's mean 3D models. Careful, I'm going to tax you. Keep complaining, I'm going to tax you. I think it's redeem, hydrate is what makes that work, just lingual. But yes, I'm enjoying coffee. You guys should too. Everyone say hi to Ian. Yoni is here. Good morning. Yoni, I sent you a bunch of references for anime 3D characters and how to approach that. Mini Boy says, Mia, I think it should be a student perk too. I agree. I just can't control that. There's no way for me to tell YouTube, oh, this person and this person gets access as if they're a member, but they don't pay. That just doesn't work. Ray says, what about the Taver pets on the bar? Yes, I currently have one Taver pet available. There we go. Just single it. Water check for everyone. If you guys if you type an exclamation point Moo, it'll redeem Moo. Or you can go to the store and just click on it and click redeem. Here, I'll do it. Bam. M3DM redeem Taver pet. In real time. Okay, I actually had a spin point for that, so I'm gonna boop. There he is. Sater says, I love M3DM. It's solid branding. The only problem I see with is how close it is to MCDM, which will only be a problem if she really blows up, though. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I've had all kinds of dumb... That wasn't dumb, to be clear, but there's always a different, bigger name out there. I remember I used to use Mia K for my illustrations and stuff, and someone was like, you know that's a porn star, right? And I'm like, I don't care. It's my fucking name. I'm going to use it. My middle name actually is K, K-A-Y. Mia K Benzine. You see why I don't use my last name? Benzine doesn't roll off the tongue. That's why we go with Mia K. Jess Lingual says, I think you put Moo on the screen more than we have. That was my first time, actually, so way to pay attention. Okay, I'm being sassy and not working. I have to do one of the two. Oh, sweet. Fun fact, babies' arms can't reach over their heads. Oh, that's right. They just go like this. Like they're just not... That cracks me up. To be clear, we're not sculpting a baby. We're just sculpting kids. But yes. That is fantastic. Wow. I kind of have long fingers, but that does still work. And then teen. And then baby. Okay, interesting. I'm going to pin that because I need to add that to one of my assignments for my students because that's really helpful. Bam. More Mia lore, let's go. All right, and we're going. How should I, oh man, okay, this is urgent. I did not plan on dwarf children clothing at all. Can you guys solve problem, please? I'm gonna work on this little girl first. But for the little boy, I didn't plan like at all what he's gonna be wearing. So, yes. Speaking of, I'm gonna screenshot this. Pretty much gonna create this character as close as I can without feeling like I'm just ripping off this artist. Steal like an artist. Boop. And then, for the boy though, I need help with the clothes. Sater says, I know it's always hilarious to me once you can't unsee it. God, babies are so cute though. I mean, come on. Oh, we don't need the hearts anymore. Okay. Maybelline says, well, my pics had clothes. That's true. I was just disturbed by their faces. Like this one I don't think would fit. That looks like a little mage. Doesn't look a little kiddish at all. These ones are a bit more too peasant-y, if that makes sense. No offense to my peasants. I want something that looks a bit more dwarf-like. Like, think like earthbenders from Avatar, maybe? Sater says, just do a shorter version of the girls. A tunic rather than a dress. Perfect. That's what we're going to do. Alright, this is going to be the boy. I'm going to copy and paste. And now we're going to work on the little girl. Okay, we're going to create the clothing first, and then we'll deal with the rest of it. So to create the dress, we're going to mask the shape out using mask lasso and then extract. Z mesh with half turned on, which halves the poly count. Ooh, that's a good one. I like the outfit. It's pretty much what I'm going to use, something a little more tunicky. I like using polish by features to kind of get the edges a little more clean. There we go. And I can delete these goofy little shorts, mask the bottom, invert the mask, and just drag straight down. This is so cursed. Oh my god. Please, if you're new here, just check back in like a half hour. It's gonna look cool, I promise. Anyways, talk about picky. Hey, I am an artist. Taylor says, the phrase "feel like an artist" is such a misnomer. Since you brought it up, if you want to share the full backstory, you're more than welcome to. There's what? It's a book. I mean, it's supposed to be just like reference material, that kind of stuff. Just lingual M3DM small dwarven children wear their apprentice blacksmith aprons and some mining clothes. That makes a lot of sense. Empress, imagine we told you look too peasant. Send help. All right. And I also want some hair ASAP. Looks terrifying. This is horrifying, Mini Blaze. Oh my god. All right, looking for a hairstyle I want to use. You know what's funny? The pigtails that we worked on yesterday might actually be useful for this. I even said, I'm like, I'm never going to use this again. And here we are the next day. He does look like Mr. Clean. Just give me a second. Hey, Ella's here. Hey friends, I'll be lurking today, but I'm excited about this model. Well, hello. Lurk away. Productively or unproductively. Shoot. We have to just make this hair. In that case, I'm going to go with a shorter hairstyle and then create pigtails off of that. I'll probably reuse this one again. I get a lot of mileage out of this style. It's mostly because of the way that I constructed it. It's really easy to break up. Oh, this is on the wrong one. This is for the little boy. Whoops, wrong one. I mean, they both look like little boys right now. Just, we're not done. Minifly says, Mia, I just want to see that I did try to choose good picks and not too creepy. Oh, are you feeling unappreciated? No. You are always appreciated. No, I know that you always are thoughtful with the references that you provide. There was just not a lot of good ones for dwarves, and that's not on you. Taka and I had a very similar experience. God, this looks so funny. It's gonna come together in about 30 minutes. But not a minute sooner, I'll tell you that. Alrighty. I want these to sit in front of her shoulders. Empress says, every stream we witness the power of proper asset construction. This is true. And then you guys really can tell when I don't do it correctly, because then I complain about it and I have to redo it. Which doesn't happen too much. You guys remember when I kept trying to post-process models in a single button click? And then I was like, surprise Pikachu face every time it didn't work. And I'm like, I know better. But it worked like once or twice before. And it's so addictive, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it worked. And it saved me whole minutes, guys. Oh my god, this thing looks horrifying. I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry. That's why I always find it really funny. Like, my students complain to me about their early projects, and they're like, I'm feeling really discouraged, Mia, because, like, my work doesn't look good, blah, blah, blah. And I always make fun of them because I'm like, are you kidding? My models still look like this in the beginning. Don't you worry. The embarrassing stage is no one can escape it. At least not as a 3D artist. I find that 2D artists can do, like, these really, like, loose, like, sexy sketches. Like, they look... There's something about a competent 2D artist sketching with a pen or a pencil or whatever, drawing instrument, and it just looks good, like right away. You know what I mean? I don't have the same experience with 3D. 3D is like, I'm gonna look good when I want to look good, and not a moment sooner. Don't rush me. And I'm like, can you at least not look like horrible? You ask too much. looks kind of like Chucky right now. Jesus. Okay. We're gonna fix it. We're fixing it. Mini Blaze says, what about braids? Nope, I already did pigtails and I want to redo it. That's just the honest truth. There's not a better reason than that. Turn on symmetry. Empress says, I read that all art goes through an ugly phase. I would say most for sure, but I'm telling you, I don't know. I've seen some 2D artists doing these sketches and it just looks amazing. Oh, Grimnir's here. Hello, welcome in. A moment in every model where I think, this isn't going to work, right? Every time. Sater says, trust me, making pretty sketches is a skill in itself. You know, that's a really good point. That's a very good point. I've never seen an amateur artist make a clean, nice looking sketch. It's always artists like I super admire that are like way up their skill level. Huh, I don't know anything about that. Ray says, Mia, you can make some really nice silhouettes in low poly. Oh yeah, absolutely. Silhouette work in low poly. Are you telling me that as a skill, or are you saying that I make nice silhouettes in low poly? Either way, thank you, maybe. All right, making some progress here. Ooh, a heist for 60. Good luck. The creepy baby is still here. Anyone's welcome to put different references up. If not, that's just what's going to hang out on the screen. All right, I want her to actually look cute. And I think giving her a little like upturned nose would be really cute. Now it's like, oh, it looks like a little pig nose. I'm like, no, it's a kid and it's cute. All right, so some big changes are gonna happen right here pretty soon that are gonna make the model look a lot nicer. So if you're curious on how I'm gonna rescue this, it's happening right now. Models are really sensitive, faces are really sensitive. I'm not gonna give her a widow's peak because you guys bullied me about that yesterday. Just kidding, I might. Ray says, Mia, I was saying it as a skill, but to curry favor with you. It was about you the whole time. Thank you. Good peasant. Oh my gosh, her little smush nose. This is cute. This is very cute. All right, giving her a nice softer jawline, making her neck not so incredibly muscly and weird. And then we're gonna add some more volume to her cheeks. Pretty much as I can get away with. I am really pleased that she is looking dwarf-like. That is better. And I think giving her kind of like sleepier looking eyes would be cute. So to do that, I'm kind of creating like this like downturn, more like a puppy dog look. And then I need to make her chin look less square. But I'm gonna keep it more on the square side still because I feel like that's reading really dwarf. There we go, she's looking a lot cuter. Her jaw is still a bit too low, but again, I don't want it too tall either. I'm gonna poly paint some freckles. I don't normally do stuff like this because it's not technically gonna show up on the 3D print. It's very, very rare that I ever paint on details that you won't see. I pretty much only do it with freckles. And the way that I do that is grabbing my paintbrush, changing the mode to drag rectangle, and then clicking on this alpha with a bunch of little dots. It takes a little bit of finessing, don't get me wrong. And then your mesh has to be decently high res. Gonna lower the RGB intensity. And then I'm also gonna draw a mask right over where I want the freckles to go. And we're gonna turn off symmetry too. All right, these need to be more brown and less red. They're not perfect, but I think they're better than not having them at all. Okay, and then I don't actually like the shape of these pigtails very much. I think I want them to be a lot shorter and a lot puffier. There we go. That's a little better. And then the head shape needs some work as well. The way that the hair sits on the head is super important. So right now it's actually tallest at where the part is. So like see how my hair, like oh my God, I have a very pale scalp. Why is it not showing up? You know, my hair part is right here. So my hair fluffs up as it comes away from that part. So that's not the tallest section, that is the lowest section. So right here I have that, it's kind of backwards. So to fix that, I'll just grab my damn standard brush and crease. Amazing. And then use my move brush to kind of fix it. I can also use my smooth brush really carefully. And you can turn on transparency to really see how the hair is sitting on the head. It should not be stuck to her scalp like this. It should be sitting off a decent amount. I'm a big fan of fluffy hair, so I have it more on the tall side. But still within like the realm of possibility. All right, she's looking cuter. It's happening. See, I told you guys. Minnie Blaze says, Mia, don't forget twins were requested. Yeah, I literally have two. We got him and her. They be twins. Y'all see this? Oh yeah. And me, I never forget details of requests. Except that one time when I did this weekend. It's okay though, because I fixed it. Oh my God, that's even worse than the ones before. Mini Blaze, stop. All right, we're halfway through the Tavern Keeper's Craft, making some good progress. And then I think I want to give her blue eyes. So a really easy way to recolor a subtool is just to go down here to, that's cuter. Oh, that's a 3D model of the reference I'm using. Is that AI generated? Had to have been. Okay, this is adjust colors, and then I can pitch the saturation right here to whatever color I want. Not this, hue. I can pitch it to whatever I want. I'm gonna go more, it's bluish, and then a little desaturated. And just like that, it'll update. Foxy says, wow, Mia, you've cheated your points so much. What do you mean? What do you mean? Are you saying I don't deserve all of that point? All right, I need to adjust her proportions. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into T-pose mesh to achieve that. Oh, is this from ZBrush Central? No kidding. That is so funny because like I found the art that this is from. Huh. All right, so I have all of this merged. So it's just kind of out of the way. And now I'm actually going to Transpose Master, which is the same way I use to pose models. I can also use it to rapidly change proportions. I kind of like all of the hair strands falling too. Kind of just looks more on the messy side. I feel like dwarves should just have like a ton of hair too. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that, but separate. All right, Now we're gonna change proportions. So Z plugin, T-pose mesh. Right, careful how you answer that, Foxy. Good advice. Alrighty. I want the little girl to be significantly shorter than the little boy, so that's what I'm working on right now. Just gonna make all of her limbs shorter pretty much. An easy way to do this, instead of what I was about to do, is just to make the head larger. So I'm about to make the entire body smaller. And I'm like, I could just do that as well. All right, I'm gonna base a lot of my proportion decisions based around how I change the silhouette of the dress. Remember, all of these like early decisions and simple silhouettes, this is where like the heart of the model is. That's why you should be spending the most time here. Details get all the credit, all the glory, because they're fun to look at. But this is where the model is actually being made. So I want her to fit within that little dress without looking like a baby doll dress. She just needs to be shorter. So I'm going to scrunch up her body by grabbing different sections of her torso. So I'm going to mask, scrunch, mask, scrunch. Because I still want her to have like fairly large feet. If you're thinking, oh my god, now she just looks cursed in a different way, you're not wrong. That's just how it goes sometimes. Also, now her head is too big. Freaking children. It's so sensitive. Foxy says, Mia, not saying she doesn't deserve them. I'm just shocked at the blatant overproduction at Poing. This is going to cause hyperinflation. Not if I just hoard it all to myself. So I'm actually changing the position of her feet a little bit here. I normally wouldn't do that, but it's kind of like the beginning of a pose starting here. Also, my god, there's so much to fix on this stupid model. Okay. We are excited. We are making progress. I can't complain when I literally know like what to do. It's not like modeling can be frustrating when you're not sure how to fix something or why it looks wrong. I know exactly what to do here. I'm just like, I see how long it's gonna take and I'm like, okay, we're in for it. There we go. Ray says, Mia, were you only gonna use the silhouette thumbnail thing that one time? Because you mentioned shaping silhouette and details a lot. This is true. It also kind of like hides under my sign. And in this case, I feel like it's easy to see because it's all like a dark color. There you go. There's your silhouette. Mini Blaze, Mia asking a question. Are the arms too long or is it the way I'm looking at them? I'm just going to tell you right now, do not worry about it. We are so not done. When I'm like done with the body, you'll know. As a general rule of thumb, your hands will fall about like halfway through your femur, roughly. I know you're asking a question, but it's like, I'm literally working on the body right now. Don't worry. So here I can kind of show you. All of her legs are kind of weird right now too. But yeah, as far as like landmarks go, I would encourage you to like even stand up right now, put your arms down by your side and see where your hands fall. With kids, it's a little different, but see like right here, it's about right. They're a little on the long side. But then kids also just have goofy proportions. Anybody says, that is what I want to know. You're welcome. Absolutely. All right, Z plugin, T-post, sub T. Right, poor mini plates. No, you guys are fine. You guys are fine. It's kind of like mopping the floors. And like, as you're mopping the floors, someone's like, you missed a spot. And I'm like, but I'm mopping. Like, I didn't miss a spot. I'm still mopping. Emperor says, children are built like cartoons. It's true. All right, she is looking cuter, though. My lord, is this a lot of work. It's gonna be a good one. Mini blades. She knows I'm trying to learn. I hope. Yes, you just get way ahead of yourself. I'm like, patience, Padawan. God, I understand when my teachers treated me the same way. I remember asking questions all the time in class, like in elementary school, and they'd be like, wait like 5 minutes. And like, sure enough, they'd cover it in the next 5 minutes of the lesson. Oh my God. Oh my God, I was mini blades growing up. Maybe, yeah, no, I was. That's really funny. Foxy says, I didn't miss a spot. I left it as an example of how dirty the floor was before. That could be like a really good, like, passive-aggressive power move. That is super funny. Oh my gosh, Bunny. It's my favorite Disney princess. Mirabiba from Brave. Amazing. All right, we're going to duplicate the dress and create a little belt. It's time to make some more assets here. And I'm probably gonna cover in inflate in hair, not hair, in flowers. Bunny says Mini Mia was mini blaze. 100%. 100%. I think it's like the framing of the question. Just like on a real note, mini blades. If you're like, hey, why are you mean to me but not other people? One, it's mostly a joke. 100%. I love my peasants. I love you too. It's probably the phrasing because you don't ask like, oh, like like how long should the arms be? It's always like, your arms look wrong. Why should they be wrong? It's like that kind of phrasing. Does that make sense? Mini Voice says, hey, they kept a bit of Fred and George's swamp at Hogwarts because it was a good piece of magic. That's true. Ray says, Mia, still not as bad as a friend of mine who has completely unnecessary, irrelevant stuff that is like a year down the line. Oh, that is fun. Like what would it be? Like, hey, Ray, what are you going to have for Easter dinner next year? Is it stuff like that? Where it's like, I don't know. Does it matter? All right, I think I'm gonna go with like these little green clovers. I have options here. I really like how these flowers print. No, let's do like a pink. Or even better, maybe like yellow flowers. I think it'd be cute if I gave her like a little flower crown. What do you guys think? Mini Blade says, oh, sniff. I like that you narrate your actions. I find it really funny. Unless you're actually sad, then that's less funny. Okay, that looks like a pile of flowers on her head. It was too much. I was trying for something. It's too much. You don't know until you try. Also, I think just one is plenty. Also, maybe I should put them like in her pigtail. Like, that's better. And then I can kind of adjust them using the move brush. There we go. Minnie says, ooh, a daisy necklace and crown. I really like the idea of some sort of embroidery. Ray says, Mia, nope, art related to lectures. So like asking about optimizing topology for animation when we're practicing low poly work. That would drive me freaking crazy. Yeah, that's a great example of like, what? Empress agrees, flower crown. I kind of, it got away from me a little bit, but I think I like what I have right here. What if I did like a belt made of flowers instead, guys? I know it's really embedded right now. It's intentional, don't worry. I like this. And then I think I'm gonna add some little flowers at the base of her skirt, kind of like a flower girl dress, where they had like that layer of tulle and all the little petals at the bottom. It's like, Mia, you're just covering in flowers at this point. And I deserve to look at something cute at this point. She looked like a monster for the first like hour. I do like the idea of doing a full loop flower crown. I kind of end up doing a belt anyway. Ooh, I do like that a lot. I'm gonna delete this one instead. I like that. I do think that's cute. So right now, we are definitely playing with shapes and having a good old time. I think the way I want her belt to turn out is just having like the 3 in the center, kind of like almost like a belt buckle. There. So just give me like this instead. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if I do the row of flowers on her head and on her waistline, it's gonna look like 2 hard bars that cut through the model. So I'm trying to prevent that, or I am successfully preventing that. There we go. Or like, oh, like daisy chain necklaces too. That's a cute dress just in general. Oh, like little overalls and a shirt. I must do that. So to create that, I'm gonna just add some little straps because that's cute as heck. Yep. I think she wasn't looking peasant enough, y'all. And I can mirror weld across the Z-axis to also fit them to the back. Look at you guys go. Thank you. Also, there's no like special peasant requirement to put references and ideas. Like anyone can come into our Discord and share ideas for the model I'm working on. Just a reminder. She's looking really cute. Can you guys believe we went from this Chad dude to this little girl? Magic can happen. If you were someone new and you kind of just like tuned in and about 30 minutes ago, I was like, please just hang out. Because look, or just actually don't hang out. Just come back in 30 minutes. See, I told you it'd happen. Okay, you guys are going insane with the references. I love it. Oh, like a little cloak of some sort. Oh, I like that too. Okay, I'm making this so detailed. Okay, we have a serious question. Should I just go all out on this one model and make her look super cute? Or should I make them both a little more on the simple side, like leave her where she's at pretty much, and make so there's twins? Oh my god, Ray, you almost have enough pulling for a brick. Or a couple dice rolls.
Are you scratching your face? Yes.
You are done with nap time today, aren't you? Early. That's okay. Alrighty. So what was on their arms for this? I wonder how different the little boy looks now. Oh, I haven't given him any hair still. I'll need to give him hair if I end up doing both models. I told her I would though, so I kind of want to stick to that. If I make one that's really detailed, I don't think she'd mind. Empress says, I say simple, but that's me being unskilled. I think we should do the two and have them like holding hands on the same base. That's literally what their idea was. Okay, we're gonna leave this design alone for a little bit and then start working on the little boy. Actually, no, I lied. We're gonna add a base. That way we can start tying all this together. The little base with flowers, I cannot believe how many models this has worked for. I always end up adjusting it, but just straight out of the box, this has been super helpful. In case you're like, oh wow, what a cute base. Where'd that come from? Me. I'm going to use this color scheme to paint the rest of the model too. Adding a little bit of depth to the center of the flowers because they're looking really samey right now, and I need a little more definition in the flowers. There we go. I'm also going to really quickly detail the fabric on her skirt because I know it's not going to take me very long and it's going to make the model look 1,000 times better. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to just whoosh detail. Bunny says, do you have the bases printable separately? You know, it's weird. I have a no base version, but I don't know if I provide the bases. Usually if people want my models without the base, it's because they have their own bases to use. Sometimes I offer the bases separate. If there's ever a base that you want, you can always split it off because they're separate shells. So the answer is yes, but not really. But if that's something that you want, that's something I can very, very easily make happen. All right, we're gonna Q mesh these poly loops. 1, 2. I thought about just putting a folder together on Google Drive that's just all of my bases. I've offered that before in the past, but again, most people either use my bases or they want the no base model and they create their own. But I can totally make either happen. I have the power. All right, details are happening rapidly. If you guys have questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'm pretty much just using the ZBrush and just extruding a bunch of loops. And then when I divide, it puts a nice little bevel on them. But I don't want it to be too extreme. We kind of had some funny topology here, didn't we? Ew, I don't like that. So I'm gonna go back and then ZBrush. Nope, stop putting triangles in. Nobody likes that. There you go. That's nice. Sweet. Now I'm gonna close holes. Oh, I like that color too. I'm not gonna use it, but it's a nice color. Forge Many Things says, I wish I had the confidence to say, quote, it's not going to take me long. I just spent a few hours sculpting a cabbage. No! Bad Matt. Bad peasant. A single cabbage could not possibly deserve that much effort. I bet it was a beautiful cabbage, though, because your work is so good. Oh, that's amazing. I'm excited to see this beautiful cabbage because I know it's going to be beautiful. You do great work. And hey, it's okay. You don't have the confidence to say that yet, but you will. That's literally what we're working on, and I'm going to help you get to that point. There we go. Little bit of detail. Doing the thing. I'm going to make this leather, so instead of sculpting leather by hand, because that takes forever, I'm going to use this alpha and just kind of scritchy scratch. You have to have a pretty high poly count for this to work successfully, and then be really careful with the way you throw this texture down. But it works really nicely. See? Again, you just have to be pretty high poly for it to work, which is fine. If your edges are giving you a hard time, just mask it, and then the edges cannot be in the way. Amazing. All right, and now let's detail the actual skirt itself. Oh, Ella has a confession. They said they were lurking, but it's confession time. Okay, this is a safe place. Vader, oh Lord. Why do we have a dwarf kid covered in flowers, not mine dwarves? Because they don't believe in child labor. She can have flowers. She can have whatever I want. They can be hill dwarves. So specifically, she wants them for villager NPCs. Also, I can do whatever I want. Why do they have to be minors? So stereotypical. Why is Paint trying to fight Wolf? Satyr, they're kept to the safety of the tunnels. Not these dwarves. Never heard of surface dwarves? It's a thing. The children yearn for the mines. No. Oh, Paint said, sorry, wrong person. No, they're trying to fight Satyr. Very good. Minors. Mia is a surface dwarf. No. I'm average height. I'm above average height. She whispers angrily. This reminds me of the halfling, and you're like, he looks like a druid, because I put like 2 flowers on her staff, and you guys went, well, Satyr went nuts. I'm like, calm yourself. She's a little like flower child. She's cute as heck. She could be up on the surface for I don't know, royal wedding or something. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Satyr says the proper answer was, they're stone flowers because she yearns for the open air. She's fascinated by the surface and all the vibrant non-mushroom flora. Oh my god, it's a way better answer. Oh no, that was way better. Satyr, you can't be snarky and witty for me at the same time. I need to do better. That was the right answer. Crap. You get point for that. That was great. Satyr, I didn't go nuts. Dramatic much? More like hysterical. All right, I added some thickness to this dress, which means I can add fabric folds. But first, trim. So go to my ZModeler brush. I think we can all agree that Satyr has never given a level-headed suggestion. Always judgy, and very inflexible too. All right, I'm gonna, this edge loop right here is disgusting. Look at this. Ugh. So to fix that, we are just going to insert an edge loop on the inside of her sleeve and then extrude that twice. And that's gonna give me the same little edge that I want. And we're gonna stop using hue mesh because it's being an absolute drama queen. extrude, polyloop. QMesh likes to do like smart, like snapping to other vertices, but every now and then it just acts dumb. There we go. The little edges really, really matter to make it look more cohesive. And now let's do fabric folds. Maybelline says, wow, what did you do? Seder got pulling because they were sassy to me, and then I was not very sassy back, and then they were witty for me. So they were like, why is this dwarf covered in flowers? And I was like, because I want it to be. And they're like, the right answer is like, because they're stone flowers. And it was like this really sweet backstory. And I'm like, I didn't think of that. As much as I love being overlord and joking like, because I said so, that was a way better creative answer. I want to get better at that. I'm sassy and maybe a bit stubborn, but I am humble at the end of the day. All right, so I'm doing a little bit of ruching by her belt, just to kind of show that the fabric is being pulled in. I'm doing this with a really easy, just back and forth standard brush. So adding material, subtracting. It's a little samey, but boy does it get the job done. And then I can come through later after I pose to make it more asymmetrical and more flowy. But if you got a simple solution, just do the simple solution. How should I texture her dress? I feel like maybe like a little scratchy texture on her dress could look nice. Like wool almost. Oh, and I'm also gonna add the same thing kind of flaring out on the edge. But if I increase the strength of my brush by a lot, and by a lot, I kind of like doubled it. It was like a Z intensity of 10, now I'm putting it at like 25-ish. I can get kind of like this little, like a pleat almost on the edge. It paints really nice and it's gonna fit this aesthetic really well. All right, back face mask, because see how this edge right here is taller in the front? I totally missed that because the edge loop was inconsistent, but I did not rotate the model, so I did not find out until now. No worry, I have fixed it. All right, this one little pleat being so crooked is driving me crazy. I want to mess with it, but in the honor of Matt being here, the forge of many things, I'm going to show that I can move on, as I'm having a very hard time moving on. See, I get it, Matt. I get your problem because I am you. Okay, moving on, I'm moving on. There, I put a flower on it. How's that? Doot. Bam. Move on. Okay, damn standard. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of kind of like a scratchy texture, I think. Yeah, some tertiary details I think would look really nice on this. Like it's a really stiff wool almost. And then I need to cinch these straps up too. Sater says, I need a gift for the zillennial innocent hands under chin thing. This? Burlap. Yes, thank you, Mini Blaze. Peyton says, Mia, I feel like it'd be cute to have a kid with the dad or mom's helmet or boots to pretend to be them. Oh, that's what we're gonna do for the little boy. Thank you. We were just about to start working on that, and that was a really clutch comment. You know what? That was such a good comment. You get it. Point for that. All right, she looks cute as heck. Did you guys doubt me? I never doubted me. So we're towards the end of Tavern Keeper's Craft, but I still have another good 30 minutes. It took me an hour and a half to go from this guy to this cute little girl. Oh my god, Aloha. Aloha says, pretending to be her parents because they were brutally killed in the Mayans. Now they're too traumatized to live underground, so they're a land dwarf. Fine. That's fine. So that's why she's smiling, but her eyes look like she's dead inside. Definitely not because I didn't detail her eyes yet. Foxy, can she even be a dwarf if no beard? Look, I don't know how beards and dwarf puberty work, and we're not gonna find out. We're not gonna find out. Mini Blaze says, Mia, save. Do I look like a joke to you? What would make you think that I had not saved this project that I've worked on for 2 hours? Dwarf children. Save. Mini Blaze gets points for that. I can't believe I forget every freaking day to do that. Alright, I'm gonna brighten up my scene a little bit here. I think I can... trying to... Ooh, that looks good. Thinking. Intense face. Yeah. That's cute. Oh man, she's cute. Okay, her ankles and her arms are a little cursed. If you look at anything too closely, there's problems, but in broad strokes, she's cute as heck. Actually, you know what? Not in broad strokes. She is just cute as heck. Anything about this I want to change? No, I think we're good. Ray says, man, I need to say something useful today. She's giving out poing like it's a joke. Are you judging my generosity? Sounds like you need to be taxed. Also, did Natalie give her confession? I didn't see that follow up. Or Ella. I'm scrolling to look for it. Yeah, Ella said, I know I said I was lurking, but I need that confession off my chest. Oh shoot, it was above that. I'm not gonna lie to you, I sculpted a cabbage a few months ago and it took me multiple hours. Oh my god, it's a fellow cabbage person. And I missed all the my cabbages joke from Avatar. Man, that was a delayed response. Sorry, y'all. I got to it. It might take me a second, but I will get to you. All right, we have this adorable girl, and I vote that we get rid of this cursed this man off to the side, and we'll replace him with this cute little girl that we made. And now we'll make her brother. There we go. All right, the brother, who does not look as friendly. Why am I forgetting where I am? There we go. I'm gonna have the same base though. He's a bit taller. I imagine he's probably like, I don't know, 10 or 12, while she's closer to like 5 or 7. Based on the height anyway. Though I guess as a dwarf, he's not gonna get a whole lot taller. He's definitely a little too tall though. I need to shorten him up a bit. To do that, I'm going to go into T-pose mesh. Again, it's the same way that I pose models, but it's a really powerful tool. I can also use it to change proportions. So I'm going to turn on symmetry, turn off perspective, and then we're going to shorten him up. He looks demonic, my lord. So I'm making his torso a bit shorter, and his legs are definitely too long. That's a bit better. Shortening his arms just a little bit, but not too much. Okay, that's a bit better. His legs are still too long. That's better. Notice that I'm not doing all the deformations in the same spot. Like I wasn't like, oh, he needs to be shorter, squish. Like that's not how you do that. All right, that is better. Ray says, Mia, when have I ever complained about free point? I support your generosity. Now it feels like you're just sucking up. I don't know. Foxy, but I want to be poor and pointless. Oh my goodness. The fact that y'all aren't even saving up for anything, you just like hoard and cause problems, is just endlessly funny to me. Okay, so you guys mentioned, or it was Wolf, and this is why I gave them Poing, just like an oversized helmet and boots. I don't know if I have a helmet that's gonna work well. I could do a cap. I'll definitely do the boots. Maybe I can do this hat. Because the helmet and boots makes the sense. So I have like this samurai helmet, which is obviously not ideal, but I can get rid of the top spikes. There we go. And then mirror and weld so that it is symmetrical. Good enough. And it's got to be like kind of like crooked, the way it sits on his head. And then we'll go with a light blue that's desaturated to get the gray color that we want, if autosave ever stops. There we go. And now let's add in some boots, which, as you all know, I do not sculpt pretty much ever any stream, because I hate doing shoes. I did them once, and that will work forever. Until it doesn't. Oh shoot, I don't have any like convenient boots for this, because I think I intentionally deleted a bunch of them to force myself to remake them. Oh my god, why did I do that to myself? I can hear myself being like, this is going to be future Mia's problem, and she is not going to like that. Well, now future Mia is now Mia, and I hate it. How about I just do like really big sandals or something? Does it have to be boots? Oh shoot. Sater says, also Mia missed me calling her a noodle dwarf. Yes, I did. I would have definitely complained about that. I usually read all of the chat. I read quick, but sometimes peasants are too much to keep up with. It's like I'm working or something. I think oversized rope sandals could also be really cute. Like, genuinely. I'm not just being lazy, I promise. Nope, that looks insane. That didn't work. Boo. Shoo it. These are all like really tall boots too. That makes this much more difficult. I think I'm gonna grab this one and combine it. Okay, I have a plan. It's happening. Man, these are meant for a human, and it shows. Oh my god. His entire leg fits in this boot, y'all. Goodness. It's okay. I planned for this. Bam. Now we're short. Amazing. It's working. I didn't have to make new shoes from scratch. Bless. Where is the thing I wanted? Oh, it didn't select, that's why. Oh, it's not updating right there. There we go. Sweet, so right now I'm just grabbing old assets and I'm kind of piecing them together in a way to make new stuff. One, because it's efficient, but mostly because I hate making shoes. I like doing literally everything else. Shoes are the one thing that I'm like, no. I don't think I need to do that. Oh, this is cute. Alright, I need to give him like a shirt and various other clothing. I was going to repurpose the dress into a tunic, but now that I have this, I don't think that's going to work. Here we go. I do think it'd be cute if he had like a little bit of a belly. I did that for the orc children as well. Though I do think I'm going to give him pants. There we go. Kind of looking at these looser fit clothes over here. Thank you again to Satyr for those references. Wow, his quads are like ridiculously big. We don't need that. There we go. Sweet, I'm trying to like speed run the end of this Tavern Keeper's Craft to have like a good amount of progress done on both models. See how much I can get done just in these couple hours. And then we'll move on to happy hour. I don't want the clothes to be super oversized as well though, just a looser fit. Otherwise it's gonna take away from the oversized boots. There we go. I thought it'd be cute if I put the shoes on like the opposite feet, but I think I'll make the model looking kind of cursed rather than intentional. Yeah, a dwarf with thigh highs. Yeah, it's pretty absurd. Bunny says, if you scroll down the Discord, there's a good lad in a tunic, but it'd be good to have two twins look distinct from another. Cute. Here's a pic if you need a reference for what stone roses look like. Wow, walked right into that. I was like, why is there a spoiler tag? Thank you. All right. Oh, I like that. I kind of like the little bit of belly poking out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because then that's more of like that tunic look, which I do like that a lot. Why are you being silly? Are we thinking no belly? Yeah, maybe not. But still with like that goofy little kid posture, you know? And then with a little belt, it would keep it looking more cohesive. Bunny says, yeah, the belly's cute. Like, he's still growing, and one day he'll grow into his father's shoes. I do like that, too. I think it's a more interesting silhouette. Is this a well-fed kid or a half-starved villager? Well-fed kid. I think I'm gonna go with the belly. And to keep the lines looking more cohesive, I'll just give a, an oversized belt. That would look good. Okay, let me duplicate this. Mask. Delete. Polish by features. And then ZBrush with same. And I can make this larger very easily with a nice inflate. And then darken that color up so it actually stands out. Wow, I didn't poly paint anything else. Okay, let me fix that. I like that her feet are turned in a little bit and then his are turned out. Cute. Another ZBrush by same because look at that topology. Why are you doing that? If it gets really dumb, I have a few tricks I use to fix it. Yeah, it's not going to figure it out. Okay, that's fine. I can force the issue. Sometimes ZBrush gets dumb, so I find that putting some edge loops, I think it's group loops, whatever doesn't add thickness. Yeah, there. Now when you ZBrush from here, it tends to do a better job. Yep, bam, what'd I say? I definitely have done that trick on stream before, and it made it way worse, and that was funny. I was like, I swear this works normally. All right, I had to mirror and weld across the Z-axis, mostly because it was so much thinner in the back, and I find this is an easier way to fix that problem. And now I can mask right here and rotate. It also fits the character quite well. Bunny said, like, he's too big for kids' clothes, but not big enough for adult clothes. Yeah, that was like perfectly said. That is what I'm going for. I don't know. I was not able to articulate that earlier. Thank you for saying that. There we go. Reminds me of the Duke from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Totally. It has been a hot minute since I've rewatched that series. It is about time. I usually watch it once a year, at least. So to really drive home that this is a little small for him, I can kind of like dig in around his shoulders and stuff. There we go. Now I need to create the rest of the belt. To do that, I'm just going to mask an area here. This will be like the excess part of the belt that kind of hangs down. I'll delete hidden, polish by feature so it's the right shape. And then use my transpose line to just drag this. And there's some default buckles in ZBrush. They're fine. I have a more expansive one called Bucklet. I'm gonna use these instead. I'm gonna find something a bit more square that feels dwarfish. That looks pretty square. Let's go just super square. This is not square, but I like it. There we go. Cute. All right, I think these two look adorable. Oh, I'm really happy the way these are turning out. Let's get these detailed up. One final push. I know you guys don't mind an extra long stream, so I'm in no rush. Also, I've been toying with the idea of making my streams a little longer on average. Currently, I'm just about 3 hours, maybe 3:10 on most streams. I think I'm gonna slowly work my way up closer to 4. I'm not committing to that change quite yet. I do stream every day as it is. I think today's my 5th day in a row? 6th? I don't know. I have it written down somewhere. All right, adding some material here as well. And I'm kind of letting the edge loops be interesting for me. Wow, that is abysmal. Okay, that's okay. I can insert an edge loop here and here. It's going a little nuts. Nothing I can't clean up really quickly with some sculpting. All right, got some interesting shapes. I can subdivide and then texture over this. All right, let's add some fabric folds. The crease brush did a really weird job here, so I'm going to help it out manually by using my ZModeler brush. I like these shapes right here. Oh, and for anyone new, all that weird noise, that's my dog. He is snoring. He's having a good little time back there. Hopefully you find him relaxing and not annoying. I know some of y'all with better headphones and bass, he tends to vibrate rooms with his snoring. All right, these fabric folds need to go a certain way because of that little belly I gave him. So they shouldn't go like this. They should go this way. All right, for the pants, I'm just gonna do close holes because these are a bit simpler. And then I'm going to Z model, I'm going to extrude some seams on the side, just like that. And then when I divide, it'll kind of soften them up. So I do kind of a combination of creasing my edges and not. It really just depends what the model calls for. So much of this time today was spent just making these base meshes. Can you imagine how quick these would have come together had I done any other dwarf children before? Definitely gonna save these. I have a feeling I'm gonna be getting a lot of use out of them. There we go. And the same thing for the belt. This is kind of an irregular shape, so I'm not gonna use close holes, though I could. I have a little bit more control and using dynamic thickness instead. All right, going to apply and then add a couple of loops on this. That was a weird poly loop to extrude. Minnie says, Mia, has burrito mode activated yet? I can't see him. And she's asking about my dog. Yep, that's him. He has burrito mode. He went back to bed. He was up for a little bit and that was too much. Reaper has not been able to join a heist. Can you guys troubleshoot that and see if it's the same problem that Alo is having? It might be the username. Because you definitely should be able to join. Very suspicious. We'll get it sorted out. All right, I need to insert a couple edge loops here. Not inset, insert. There we go. Extrude, extrude. Should be roughly the same as the main section of the belt. Nope, didn't quite get it. That's okay. Let's try again. That's better. There we go. All right, he's mostly detailed. Bit on the simple side, but looks really good. Oh, Reaper is just too poor. What? How many points do you have now? Let me look that up. I can see it on the store. All right, so this is the, let me refresh this. We can kind of see what our current standing is. Oh, you can guys see the chat here too. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, it's annoying if it shows the chat and then I can't see the your guys' currency. I am at the top. I see that, where I belong. There we go. All right, where are you, Taylor? The other Taylor is towards the top. Oh, wow. I don't even see you on here. Wow. Oh my goodness. All right, we can't have that. Go nuts. All right. I feel like the boots don't even look big enough now. Gosh, curse their weird little proportions. How big do I need to make these boots so they read clearly? Jesus. Gigantic. I will do what I must. There we go. Those look absurd. All right. We got this one and her. She's definitely my favorite, but they're both cute. All right, we got some little kiddos. I like it. Taylor says, so do heists have a chance to take away points? Oh yeah, it's 50-50. It's up to you. You were in control of that fate. Yep. RB says, Mia, this is going great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. And I love being able to do models like this for you guys pretty much start to finish on stream. One, because you can see a lot done. And two, this looked really bad for a long time, didn't it? It's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. That's part of the process. And I think it's really important for all my students to see that too. And not even just my students, but just creatives in general. Don't start critiquing your work until it is done. You can kind of like have ideas and whatnot. Like, I'm not saying you can't make changes intentionally, but a lot of creatives kind of shortchange themselves by judging their work when it's not finished. And if you're overcritical right from the get-go, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to burn out because you're being mean to yourself. That'll help with any perfectionist tendencies as well. RV said, well, I can't keep myself away from working on my model, so I did something. I'll send you images on Discord. Sounds good. Sater says, I think the key would be make the ankle leg opening more absurdly oversized than the foot. Yes, you were correct. Oh, someone new. Zuli12. Thank you so much for doing these. These are looking great. It's Katie. Hey, that is my Patreon supporter who requested these in the first place. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. That gets confetti. I love when the requester tunes in, even just for a bit. I'm hoping that you like just tuned down and didn't have to see the whole process because my goodness, these went through an ugly phase. But that's great that you're here now. I have stuff to actually show you. If you joined in like 45 minutes ago, I'd be like, just come back in a little bit. I promise. Yeah, thank you, Sater. I will definitely adjust that. So I was going to put them on the same base, and that's why I'm like, okay, it's fine that you technically requested two models. But then I end up having too much fun, and they are both worthy of having their own base. That helped a ton. Thank you, Sater. Sure enough, what do you know? It's a silhouette problem. I should know that. That's okay. Bam. I can fine tune it more later, but we're at a good point here. I'm going to save, and then I'm going to scroll back a little bit and look for my favorite cursed moment, because these went through so much. Also, slide the leg forward so there's more of a gap behind the leg than in front. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I will tweak that later. Zuli said, I skipped through the process, then came to live. Okay, that's actually ideal. So you can be like, oh wow, okay, oh okay. It all came together. It came together. But yeah, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to tune in. It's really fun when you guys tune in. Also, a huge thank you. You've supported my art for officially just over a year, so very appreciated. Aloha says, it's like trying to bake a cake. You keep taking bites and saying it tastes bad when it's still just flour and eggs in a bowl. That is fantastic. Okay, so that's touching on what I mentioned earlier with my students, where do not criticize your work when it's not complete. You guys know I love bakery references, like actual baking, not the Tavern Pets baking. Anyway, but that's a great example. I'm gonna read that again. Criticizing your work before it's done and having negative self-dialogue while you're trying to create, whether it's sculpting, drawing, playing piano, whatever. It's like trying to bake a cake, but you keep taking bites and saying, it tastes bad. but it's literally just flour and eggs in the bowl. Seriously, think about that. That is excellent. Meanwhile, Minnie Boy says, my house smells like ham now. It's so good. That's right, you're baking a ham today. How fun. All right. That brings us to the end of happy hour. Not happy hour. Tavern Keeper's Craft. The mug has just disappeared entirely. So our next section will be happy hour. Happy hour is the time that's dedicated for my students, but I also work on just whatever needs to get touched up on. So if you're a student, go ahead and DM me. If you're a past student, such as Ella, you're also welcome to DM me. I'm happy to review your work as well. So yeah, go ahead and sort those up. We'll get to them in about 15 minutes once I'm done with my break. It's currently 2:30 Eastern time. So I'll be back by 2:45 p.m. Eastern time, returning. Sweet. In the meantime, feel free to duel heist as you guys wish, and I will be returning in 15 minutes. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you haven't already, like the stream and subscribe. It makes a huge difference. There's been so much channel growth recently, and I owe it to you guys. So thanks. I get to have my dream job and every day because of y'all. Okay, time for a break. Hey y'all, I'm back, and it is time for happy hour. But I'm also tired from doing 2 models, so I'm gonna sit here for a little bit. Also, Ray, what are you confused about with math? You had 494 points, you gambled 50, you won, so you got back 100, so now you're at 594. The math is mathing. I'm not great with math, ironically, despite the engineering degree, but I can add 100. I can add 1. Oh, Monkey's here. Hey, Monkey, welcome in. Mini Play says, I need to quit doing the heist. I lose a lot more often than I win. It's exactly 50-50 odds. Just keep in mind, odds are independent. I won't give you guys a full statistics lesson because nobody wants that, but they're independent events. Don't forget that. It's just because you lost 10 times in a row. Your next odds are still 50-50. Hey, Dragon's here. Hey, welcome in. Welcome back. Some people have a chihuahua and a stroller at my niece's gymnastics. Also, there was an armadillo stuck in my niece's softball net this morning. Wow, what an entrance. I love that. See, that's the kind of story, that's the kind of first comment I want. None of this good morning, good evening crap. I want armadillos stuck in nets. That's beautiful. Ray says, yeah, I was being dumb. I math bad. That's okay. That's A-okay. Ray says, I blame the fact I was trying to fix normal maps at the same time. That is fair. Mini Play says, I lose at coin tosses a lot too. Same. That's why I cheat. Okay. Happy hour. Ricky says, Mia, give me some pulling. I need to duel Ray. I can do that. Reminder to anyone watching that Ricky is my husband, so this is broken. If Ricky asks, he receives. Ray, you gotta duel something. It can be not much, but it's gotta be something. You gave me a hard time for not doing it, so now you gotta do it. All right, there we go. Oh my god, Ricky is going for 500. That's a bit insane. Oh man, in front of the whole tavern. Satyr, Mia, give me some point. I need to duel Ricky. How much do you have, Satyr? How much of a boost do you need? Oh my god, everyone wants 500 to duel Ricky. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna encourage this. I'm gonna break my own currency, but I'm not gonna do 500. That's insane. Oh my god, Ray won. Holy crap. Oh no. Yeah. Ricky, you made it so much worse. Okay, Ray, at this point, if you didn't already have one, you gotta get a brick. You gotta be on the starting screen. You are now part of Tabberb history. Come on. Come on. It's meant to be. That or dice rolls, I guess. 1,000 points. Oh no. Oh, Satyr worked hard to zero out. I was being glib. Okay, sounds good. Wow. I don't know what to say. Well played. Well played. The lore. Absolutely funny. Okay. Back on topic for a little bit. Feel free to continue peasant merriness and whatnot. But if you do redeem a Tavern brick, make sure you tell me so I don't forget. Yeah, Ricky has 0 again. I can't help you, honey. Sorry. My love knows bounds. All right. RB Minis has an update. Hey, Mia. So here's the update for the day. I did some skin details and added poly paint. I'm bad with colors, so I'm not sure if it's good or not, but it is what it is. Sounds good. Oh, this is just fine. And you're not too heavily saturated, which is good. Yep, I see there's some texturing throughout the whole model, some tertiary details. And then the face has a lot more detail work too. Honestly, you implemented the things I suggested. No review really needed here. If you want to have, I'll give you a tool though. How's that? So here's a really easy tool for y'all. It's called Coolers. Become an affiliate. No. All right. Start generator. So yeah, go to this website and you can give it different like themes like desert or spooky or whatever. But every time you press spacebar, it gives you a new color palette. This can be fantastic. If you're bad with colors, you really can't go wrong with this. So I'm going to put this into the chat. Bam. So instead of a normal critique, because there's not a whole lot for me to review here, RB, since we've already been over a lot of this, there's a new tool for y'all to enjoy. How's that? The main character looks pretty good. Your coloring on the axe kind of clashes with the rest of it, but you're on to a really good start. I do not have gambling enabled, but I love the enthusiasm dragon. That is a thing I could enable. All right, next one is Maniac. All right, so they are still working on this lovely, scary orca, dog, dragon, I don't know what to call it. We made some really, really good progress, but they wanted me to zero in on this specifically. Just general feedback on how to join everything up without destroying everything. I get really nervous in this step. I'm particularly concerned about the upper and lower jaw and fingers. It's always the fingers. Yeah. So in order to keep the fingers looking nice, honestly, you don't have them as separate subtools, so that's going to be a little tricky. You could polygroup them to kind of keep some organization or some control. But the reality is you are going to be resculpting stuff because when our muscles move, they bend. So instead of being frustrated or nervous about destroying stuff, just know it's part of the process, which I know feels like a very glib answer, but it's just part of it. As far as keeping control though, I do agree with that. I tend to split the subtool around here. So I would have this like quad muscle separate versus the rest of it. It's definitely time for you to start posing. I really like the mouth you added on the bottom here. It's looking pretty good. I know this has been a very challenging project and you've gotten a lot of great work done here. I also love that you made the tail perfectly straight. There's a lot of strengths to this. Mostly if you add a bend curve modifier, you'll have a ton of control over it, which is going to be beautiful. Oh, I didn't even check if you were in the chat. That's okay. I can always have you rewatch this section. But as far as posing this and not letting it destroy itself, I believe I posed the Hodag on stream. I hope I did the Hodag Cryptid. Just use Transpose Master and expect that you're going to have to resculpt some stuff is my best answer to that, truly. You're not destroying stuff. Just think about how the muscles are bending and just roll with it. Have a lot of references. And the biggest thing I can help you to guide here is you have your initial reference up here somewhere. There it is. But it's only from one side. I would look at this creature and think, what does it most closely represent body-wise? It kind of looks like a shortened up dog almost. And I'd look at a lot of references of a real life animal moving and then kind of root it in that. And that's going to help keep your joints in the right spot and a good flow. It's tricky. I mean, I guess here. Yes, I'm here. Perfect. I hope, is that enough guidance or do you need a little bit more help there? Because I can give more as needed. I'm also going to double check. Did I stream the Hodag being posed? Because I sculpted that from scratch on stream. And whenever you're posing monsters, I mean, that kind of happens. It gets a little chewed up. Why is it so hard to find my own stream? Boo. I'm gonna find it.
What's the difference between toy?
It's gonna be adception for a second here. 1 second. All right. I think I just detailed it. Yeah, I didn't jump into it. Damn. But look how sectioned I kept everything. So that gives you maximum control over it. You will experience some problems right here, the way this is gonna bend. You can get away with it by either polygrouping it or just cutting it and letting that seam be nice and harsh. I use Bear Anatomy for reference. Fantastic. Yeah, bears are kind of like, they're very square shaped. I think of a bear, I think they're more rectangular. No, bears are like a literal square. They're very odd. Anyway. And as far as the fingers, you don't have a lot of like bony landmarks to really like keep reference. They're kind of squishy shaped as they are. So I would just plan on resculpting those fingers once you have it posed, and you can have it like complement the model the way that they're going to bend. Does that make sense? It's going to be a lot of cylinders and spheres. Spheres for the knuckles and cylinders for the finger part. Keep it really simple, and they'll let you pose it and make something interesting to complement once everything else is posed. Yeah, I did. I also worked on the Hodag during the silent stream. You're right. I didn't grab it. So I have some lessons on how I posed a dragon for my students. So I can link that to you afterwards, Maniac. I see that Matt messaged me. I don't know if they're still here. I did not read it ahead of time. I'm not sure if you want me to review that or not. Should I pose, then Dynamesh, or Dynamesh, then pose? Do not Dynamesh. You do not need to. Or do you have subdivision levels? You really should have subdivision levels. If you don't, do that first. Sorry, I kind of just assumed that was baked in the cake. That is my bad. If you don't have a low poly version of that, it's going to be hell. Make sure you have subdivision levels. And if you don't, you can reconstruct them. It's not a big deal. You pretty much just Z-remesh and then project details back on. Pretty much you're done with Dynamesh. There's no more Dynamesh. Dynamesh is really for the early sculpting when you're creating shapes. At this point, Z-remesher and on is your friend. I think it's all Dynamesh. Oh, his project? Yeah, that is no bueno. Let me grab some stuff for you. It's kind of an old lesson, but this is how you create subdivision levels back. And then I have that dragon one too. So in my Sculpt With Me series, this is a page that's only available to my students. Little hotkey page, that's fine. And I have all these videos that are meant to be walked through. One of them is for a dragon. I would recommend poking through this and seeing how I pose him as well. And then these are just like fun start-finish projects. But anyway, skim through this as well. It's just all creature designs, all rooted in those fundamentals and keeping stuff clean. And you'll see it's a very similar leg shape that you're dealing with and how I keep control over all these different elements. So yes, if you have any more questions, please let me know. Yeah, I'm particularly concerned about the upper and lower jaw. I wouldn't worry about the upper and lower jaw. That'll be totally fine. You have them as different subtools, so you're totally good. Just use Transpose Master for this. Don't use Z-spheres. I think that ends student review. If you guys have more questions, let me know. Wow, that's cursed. Is that a bald bear? Oh my god. Thank you, Satyr. Awful. Very good. All right, sweet. For anyone else that's interested in learning how to 3D model, getting feedback on stream, get to be a student, there's your information about that. If you've got questions, let me know. All right. Well, now it's happy hour, and there was no D20 rolls of Destiny today, which means I get to control my own destiny. It's kind of nice, having a little break. Of course, I always appreciate the donations, but this is also nice. I'm gonna save these kiddos. Dragon said, "Hey Mia, did you see my stump?" I didn't. Where's your stump? Donde? Wouldn't be in general, would it? No. Mini painting? No. I am stumpless. I even looked in memes. Oh, RB asked, so now I can move to pose him. Yes, assuming that you have subdivision levels and all that, you're good to go, you can begin posing, yes. All right. You guys are still heisting it up. I love it. I love it. All right, we'll probably work on that Valkyrie again. I am so happy with how these turned out. I think they're really cute. I'm still surprised that all these dwarf references we found were really disturbing looking. Like a lot of the dwarf children art we found, there was very few that made a lot of sense. Because they're really just like stout humans. They're not supposed to look like monsters, you know what I mean? This is my favorite reference. I think we captured some of that energy. I'm really happy with that. It was tricky making them look young and stout versus just like a normal dwarf because the proportions are so similar. Like to make these adults, I pretty much would just change their face and make them a tiny bit taller by making their heads smaller essentially. Oh, I also really liked this piece of art too. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I thought that was really nice too. And I linked where the original artist page as well. Thought that was just beautiful. Everything about that. Oh, here we go. Here is the stump. Thank you, Aloha. Oh yes, I saw your stump. I reacted to it. I gave it a little flame emoji. It's a very nice stump. Fire. Very good. RB says, Mia, yes, I have all the subtools with subdivisions, not armor, but that's no problem. Oh yeah, the armor doesn't need subdiv because it's not going to bend. But you do want to make sure that it's not like crazy high poly because if you put it in transpose master, it's going to crash. All right. Oh, that's cursed. That's okay. Oh, I forgot to take a screenshot and I have to scroll up because we have naked bears on the screen. There we go. That looks on theme. All right, y'all. I'm going to take a screenshot. Smile. Smile. All right. Ricky is joining the treasure hunt. I like it. Good luck in the graveyard. Speaking of, are you guys enjoying the necromancer theme or would you all like to pivot to be pirates tomorrow? Or something else entirely? I can write something new. Ray last time is who picked the I can only do one thing at a time. Ray picked the necromancer theme. I think it turned out really nice. I'm going to throw my little update in here so we don't have to look at a hairless bear. Woo. Kiddos. Space. Space is so scary though. I don't know if I want you guys to be like, I don't know, stranded in space is like a weird, irrational, pointless fear of mine. The same way I was very afraid of quicksand as a child. A sand enchantment. When I was working on this earlier, there's a moment where the little boy totally looked like Sandal. An anime theme. That's too big. Can we have sci-fi in the rotation? All right, what kind of sci-fi? We can merge space and sci-fi. What about that? Because it's pretty much the same thing. Firefly theme? What the heck would I do with that? Like, Firefly, is that an anime? Am I not with it? Stop with the hairless animals. I'm gonna ban you from the chat, Satyr. Space or deep underwater. I like that. Wasn't Firefly like a beloved show that got canceled? Star Trek. I don't know enough about Star Trek to write something about that. I can do sci-fi though. I can do something space sci-fi-esque. Mia missed my idea. I did, Aloha. Mia, can the boy have one of those flowers pinned to his shirt like his sister gave it to him as protection or comfort? That is so cute. I have to do that right now before I forget. All right, to do this, it's actually a good tutorial on how you move a subtool from one tool to the other. So an actual learn is happening. A tip is happening right now. Oh my God. Okay. So first thing, grab the subtool you want to take something off of and then duplicate it. That's with Command-Shift-D or Control-Shift-D. I went ahead and click solo, grab one of these flowers, and then delete hidden. I have this selected, and now I'm gonna click on my other tool, which I can't show you because my face is in the way. Haha, I have solved the problem. You can see all the servers that I'm in. No, don't look at all my games. Okay, so I have the subtool selected. Now I click on my other tool where the little boy is at, and then go to append. From here at the top, the quick pick, it's gonna show all of the other tools you have available. And there's our rose, or flower, whatever it is. Click on that, and there you go. Witcha. You have now, this is how my asset library works too. You've now successfully moved one subtool from one tool to another tool. I know, there's a lot of, it's very redundant language in ZBrush. Remember, a ZBrush project file, also known as a .zpr, is where all of your tools are kept, and each tool is made of subtools. Okay? It will make sense, I promise. Oh yeah, Firefly's that show. Yeah, I've never seen that. I can't make a module based on that. I have no idea what it's about. I love the enthusiasm though. Reaper, right, give me some points. It can fuel my gambling addiction. Oh no. Mayblade says, Mia, you need to watch a few episodes. But it gets canceled, right? I don't want to heartbreak with the rest of y'all. I am blissfully unaware. I love that flower idea. That's going to make it to the final model. Dragon says, I hate that file organization scheme. Why hate when you can love? Is it the naming of things? I think tools and subtools is fine. So projects have tools and tools have subtools. Yeah, the Oblivion remaster came out. Ella actually just DM'd me about that. I think I'm gonna make the Heist Tomorrow Mass Effect theme because that's the only sci-fi I've really enjoyed. I guess I love Star Wars. There you go. Dragon says, Trigun is a great anime and it's sci-fi western. Interesting. Ray, Mia, would you like to all or nothing duel a 1200 poing duel? I don't know. Grimnir says, better to have loved and lost. All of that, though. Firefly is great. I also do agree with that sentiment. I don't know if I want to do that. I'll ask the 8-ball. 8-ball, should I duel Ray? The answer is within yourself. Wow, that is super unhelpful. That doesn't help at all. Aloha says she's acting like she wants to give herself infinite points. There are no stakes. No, there are, because I won't take them away from Ray if he wins, which is going to ruin our entire economy. Think of the other peasants, Aloha. This is not trickle-down economics. Also, if y'all are hanging out, hello, welcome. We're in happy hour right now, so we have just left the Tavern Keeper's Craft, meaning we are aimless, we're hanging out. It's actually time for last call, speaking of. Now we're not even happy hour, we're last call, which means the stream is starting to wrap up. We just hit the 3-hour mark and we're just hanging out. Can everyone talk to the 8-ball? Yes, exclamation point 8-ball. Ask the 8-ball whatever questions that you guys want. Reaper 8-ball, will I be able to afford a dentist? Rip, too real. I will accept this duel. Alright, for all or nothing, for 1200 poing. I've never won a duel. I don't know what the fuck I'm expecting. Ray won the duel. I've never won the duel. I don't know what I was expecting. All right, everyone. I guess all hail Ray, your new overlord. Oh no. See, these are consequences, Aloha. This is what I'm talking about. Like, oh, there's no consequences. This is a consequence. All right, that's enough. You guys have a great rest of your day, and yeah. Y'all know I'd never leave you hanging like that, but I am devastated. This is the worst. Aloha says, oh no, adds 2k to her total. But Ray can now, do you understand how many D20 of Destiny rolls Ray can do now if they wanted for free? Like, there's a reason why the D20 Destiny are donation based. One, because I don't do this for free. I get money for this, real currency. I did the poing thing as like an option for those that were regulars, which Ray is a regular, so I guess it's fine, but it's still... God. This is the worst. Wow. I'm still second. Ray has 2,368 points. Oh my god. Everyone go after Ray. Dethrone Ray. This is ridiculous. Burn it all down and start again. Good point, Foxy. On a real note, I do plan that at the end of every month, all poing gets reset. Like, actually. Reaper says, Ray, give me 250 points so I can do my first Dice of Destiny, please. Oh my god. Mini Blaze, you know what? Fine. I can accept these stupid duels. I've never won one. Watch me win 5 poing. I'll be pissed. I'll be more angry if I win this because it's so inconsequential. I did win. That is the first duel I have ever won. Sorry if I'm like smacking my thing. It's probably kind of loud. I'm just outraged. Oh my god. I have no words. All right, Ray. If you're still here, we need to negotiate. This is ridiculous. You're not allowed to have a horde. What do you want? I can do a bonus stream for 2,000 poing. That opens up new possibilities that I didn't think were an option. No, I will never be the peasant. Oh, Ray is giving away poing. Wow. So generous. Mini Blaze, I'm inconsequential now. No. Winning 5 poing is inconsequential. Oh my gosh. Wow. Ray is giving it all away. This is almost worse. Then you guys are all going to be rich. I do not want all these rolls. I really don't. Ray says, Mia, I'm not sure. I have so much power. You're like that guy, like you win the lottery, but you don't know how to spend it. Ray is going to redeem a brick. Amazing. All right, y'all, it's happened. Ray is going to officially be part of the wall, that loading screen. Amazing. Mini Blaze, why are you feeling unloved? You were so loved. Oh, smiley face. I get the joke now. Oh my goodness. Well, good. Ray will now officially be part of the Tabard forever. You are part of a very historical moment. You're gonna duel me for 500? Do I look like a joke to you? Absolutely not. I'm done with that. Sater says, well, I was going to spread it around to you, but I've gotten a taste of Mia Fear, and it is tantalizing. All right, I'm gonna get back to working before the peasants really revolt. Or it's last call. I can do whatever I want. That's right. I forget this. Dragon says, anyone smart spends their first bit of a lottery win on a financial advisor. I totally agree. Yeah, Reaper, you never got the 200 point because your whole account thing is like broken. You're having the same problem that, yeah, Ray redeemed the brick. Woo! That's exciting. That Aloha had. I'm not sure exactly why. It might have been because you changed your name. I'm not sure. Sometimes if you put like at Taylor Beth, it has a little space afterwards. Make sure you guys are erasing that and it should fix it. Ray says, I'm not sure if it shows up, but I redeemed it. Ah, there we go. Yep, it will show up. You were all good. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys all enjoy the Valkyrie model. I'm super proud of it. It was a ton of work and it looks epic. Yoni says, my pulling are not showing up either. At all. Or maybe you're just too poor to show up. Hey, it looks like it worked. All right, Ray, what else do you want? Yeah, Yoni, it works. You have 14. All is well. All is well. Yeah, Ray, what else do you want? With that much poing, I'll stream for another hour. Whatever I can do to be first again in my own freaking stream. Yoni, I got called too poor to chat. It's okay, because it's not real money, so it's just joke. It's just joke. Why aren't these claws selecting? What is that? No. There we go. I think I had symmetry turned on, so it's being silly. All right, you are being silly. Let's just reopen the CPR and all will be well. Ray says, can I have another Taver pet? Ray, if you spend all of your point down to 0, I will make a new Taver pet right now. What do you think? Up to you, or you can redistribute it. That's as good of a deal as I'm ever going to offer. What in the world is this part of her shirt? What is happening here? I feel like that wasn't there earlier. Yoni, can someone please give me a small loan of 250 points? Yeah, you could also roll like 20 times. That math does not math. It'd be like 10. Right. Aloha, I am not that lucky. This is true. So this is something that happened to the body, and apparently I did not notice. All right, Ray's gonna take my offer. All right. Start designing your Taver pet. I'm gonna clear you out. 1660, just like that. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna remove your points. You go ahead and give those to me. Exclamation point give. Yep, you're on it. Heck yeah. There we go. I am back to being your overlord. Wonderful. Taylor says, I'm also a little confused on how the point structure and works and can be used. Great question. It's very simple. 1, you earn point by watching and commenting. You have to do both. If you're not watching the stream, no point. If you're not talking, no point. I would love to reward lurkers, but it's literally not an option on Streamlabs. Otherwise, I would. Second, the pinned comment has this stuff. This is my loyalty store. These are all things you can buy. Simple as that. You can also earn point by dueling each other, so kind of like risking it, or heist, where you get 100% payout based on what you gamble. Though I do change the odds every day. So there you go. That's the full explanation on pulling. No more dueling for me. You guys can duel though. I gotta get to work on this Taver pet. Oh heck yeah. Amazing. I love it. Yeah, Ray, what do you want? What Taver pet would you like? Let me go ahead and open up the Taver Pet ZPR, but first let me see if I can recover the correct body here, because at some point this mesh got a little goofed up and I need to fix it before it gets too far in my quick saves. It might have been goofed up for a while. I'll have to restructure that later. Not a problem. Just to cover my bases, I'll go back to my latest quick save and then check that out first. Meanwhile, Ray, design your Taver pet. I'm sure it will be glorious. You have been broken since the beginning, haven't you? Wow, what is that? You know, I could fix that pretty easily, actually. I'm not worried about it. On to the Taver pet. Here are the 3 Taver pets I've made so far. These have all been requests from viewers like you. All right. I'm getting so, as I go on my streams, I get more and more dry. And then Taylor says, like role playing? It can be, absolutely. Ray says, Mia, could you make a Taver pet version of the knight I made? Heck yeah, I can. Let's do it. Let's do it. I love a little artist collab. All right, Ray, can you DM? You probably already DM'd me. Oh yeah, and the Taver brick, of course, of course. Ray, can you DM me a screenshot of your knight, and then I will get designing. And there it is. All right, so it looks like a pretty normal medieval knight. So we're gonna make this cute and baby. Ooh, here's another one's well lit. I like it. All right, thank you very much, Ray. Yeah, so Reaper actually did not pay to be a member. That's why that Reaper doesn't have a mug. I don't know if you missed this stream, Foxy, but Alexander and RB Gaming collectively donated like 30 memberships to my channel. So they donated a couple $100 essentially, and a lot of people became members of the channel, at least for a month. So it was a really cool moment. So I added all of them to a brick. Reaper said, you're gonna have to set a price for the pets. It's too cute to pass up. I was thinking the same thing. I think for this one, I'm gonna offer a pulling system and a real money system. I was thinking $10 because it is like a custom model, or like 1,000 pulling because it is from scratch. Taylor says, what is the difference between being a member to YouTube and being a patron? A member on YouTube gets you access to the little emojis. And it's mostly just support. You also get a mug at the bottom here. So I have like 8 mugs now. So yes, mugs at the bottom, and then you'll also be on the brick screen, which is, I'm gonna show it to you, this screen. So yes, that's being a YouTube member. Patreon's more about the 3D printable models and rewards. So if you want access to all 1,000 models I have for 3D printing, go on to Patreon. You can technically submit a request on either. I have a more expensive tier on YouTube. I think it's $20 a month, which allows you to submit a request. So if you have a 3D printer, I'd recommend Patreon. If you don't, I'd recommend being a YouTube member. The pricing structure is a little different just because of different fees and whatnot. All right, I'm going to do a little screenshot of every one of these little pets, and then we're gonna get started on this knight. Today is going to be a little bit of an extra long special stream, so everyone thank Ray for that. Pretty awesome. First, I'm gonna resize my document because I wanna make sure it goes to the edges of the screen. Whoop. There we go. Taylor says, okay, so YouTube member is more for fun and community. Yes, exactly. All right, 1, 2, I did not space these well at all. Oh my god. Let me try that again. That's better. All right, we got all of our little tavern pets. One, they look really cute, but also this makes it easier for me to keep stuff stylistically consistent. All right, Ray sent a front and side to make it easier for me. Perfect. Thank you. Screenshot, screenshot. Very good. So we're pretty much just gonna make a cute little knight. Oh yes, Discord's really fun too. I think Taylor's already in that actually. I'm certain they are. I mean, that's like the worst way to do it, Dragon, but that is an option. You could get a 1 terabyte USB, individually download all 1,000 models because I don't offer a bulk download, and then just join every couple months. If everyone did that, I would not be able to do this full time, so that's kind of the skeezy way to do that, but it is an option. All right, I've duplicated this file here, and now let's start constructing this knight. So this is kind of fun because I already have, I'm thinking, why are there so many pieces? Oh, I'm all turned around right now. Some of these duplicated, I kind of built on top of them, so I'm trying to get organized first. Yes. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're all good. And then we'll get going. Perfect. All right, so we have just the base. That's all I really wanted. And then our first cylinder. So this is going to be our little knight friend. So what's most important is the proportion. So for anything chibi, it should be like 2 to 3 heads tall at the max. Reaper. Dragon trying to hustle our queen, right? Sater said, "Me, I meant to ask yesterday, but why is the belly flat? It's just a cleaner shape. It looks more clear. I'm also not done with it. But yes." All right, let's go more on the gray side. It's pretty much gonna be a giant like knight helmet with little arms. It's gonna be awesome. Dragon said, "It just goes to show, folks, things can only be good if you ain't a tarnation donkey that takes advantage." God, that is really funny. You know, I do have some people that do what you said, but they come back so frequently and they usually support my Kickstarters and stuff too that I really don't mind, to be clear. Ray says, "I'm so excited for this." Me too. Sater said, "Mia, I don't know if this is possible, but it would require YouTube sync. Could you have an exclamation point pulling command for super chat? What would that achieve? Oh, like where you can redeem poing for a super chat? That would not work. Yeah, super chats have to be real dollar. A chibi knight. Yep, that's what we're doing. I have the structure of a knight helmet, but I'll probably need to make a lot of it from scratch. We'll see. I'm going to my head, helmets, and headgear. Because this little section I know will be useful. But the rest of it I'll need to piece together. Because I might just do this with like big ol' eyes too. Let me go ahead and grab those references and put them on my other screen. Like redeem for a super chat. Yeah, no, it'd have to be real money. YouTube would not allow that. But it pops up on my screen like everything. It just wouldn't pop up in the chat. Ray says, "I could sing the FBX save you time." Yeah, no, I got it. All right. So I'm gonna make a couple changes because I really like the grate on this. And because this little dude's gonna have so little detail to start with, because it's all chibi and whatnot, we'll need whatever detail we can get. But I do want to mostly keep true to the shape that you've created here, which is more of a flat jawline, actually. This I'm going to ZBrush a ton, because the head is probably just going to be the helmet. Mini blades. What about the bottom of the helmet? What about it? This is my mopping thing all over again. Because I need to make this stylistically similar, but cute. So I'm looking for all the main components that makes this character what it is. It's got to have the little blushies. So let's go ahead and grab some eyeballs. We'll grab the whole bee head for just a second. Nah, I don't need any of that. There's a whole bee head. Wow, that was not polygrouped the way that I thought it was. That's fine. Oh, because there's subdivision levels. That makes a lot of sense. Behave. There we go. Behave. Okay, I'm done. But in this case, I think that the little knight should actually be angry. It'd be our first mad tavern pet. He takes his job very seriously. But there's still gonna be the little blushies. It's just the way things must be. Ray says, stylistically similar but cute. And that's exactly why I gave it to you rather than attempting it myself. That's fair. All right. Off to a pretty good start here. Let's go ahead and append a body. I have not had to tackle a body yet. Chibi style, obviously. I've done this before. Thinking. I feel like I want to give him like a tiny little sword then that's all like cute. Mini Blaze, the reason why you keep losing duels is because you don't believe. You have to believe. There we go. I want little angry arms. And the whole thing is going to be armored, so the whole thing is pretty much going to be gray. It's happening. Oh my god. I love my job. Oh my god, I love my job. This is so fun. I think I'm getting pretty good at these little pets too. Yeah, like a tiny spear yoni, that'd be super cool. That'd be really cute. They don't have a weapon in Ray's reference, but I'd be curious what they would use. Oh, Ray, I have to ask, genuinely, like booty or no booty? All of them have little booties. You don't have to do it, but like. Also, sword or spear. All right, I need more of this blue color happening because it's really making the model read more clearly. He had a sword, I just didn't want to model it. I feel that. I'm not going to model one right now either. I'm going to go take one I've already made. Same page. I might not have a sword that's cute enough. I need something really simple. This might be simple enough. I just need to bulk up the proportions. So cute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That means he needs a little shield, I feel like. Alright, I have to remove all of the little details on it because it doesn't suit this style. What do you guys think? Something kind of like this? Ultimately, Ray gets to say, but... Ray says, let the peasants decide on the booty. I would like a sword, please. Sounds good. I'm on the same page. Cake him up. It's so easy and simple at this point. I don't mind doing it. Y'all have brainwashed me. It's that simple, y'all. I can now make these little booties in like 5 clicks. It's outrageous. A skill that I never needed, but now I have. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's so funny and cute. Yoni says, I want a mini of my own. Yeah, I'm gonna need to make this like, there's gonna be like a roll D20 stuff, but I'm also gonna have to make it like a direct exchange thing, both in money and in coin. I'll figure it out. It's not a tavern pet without the cake. No, you're not wrong. Full bakery. All right, I need to add some bevels. That's probably like the most detailed secondary form a chibi can handle before it's gonna not have its appeal. But a little bevel right here would look really nice. I also think a sharper point would look good. So I'm gonna turn off perspective, grab my mask pen brush. And there you go. Oh, that's a cool technique too. So Aloha, you're gonna wanna know this. When you mask, let's say if you mask somewhere, but it's like totally in the wrong spot, keep your pen held down and then click spacebar and you can drag that around. The more you know. There we go. And then I can use that to make it more of a spike. See? Looks much better. Oh, I lost the bevel right here. I undid a little too much. There we go. Wait, just a little bit. Nope, stop snapping. Just a tiny bit. ZBrush is mocking my authority. Why won't you just do this tiny bit? Well, there you go. If you complain enough, it listens. Pro tip. All right, this little booty is hysterical. I want to keep it mostly low poly still, partly because it just looks good too. I'm going to make the little blushies and the eyes separate objects because I want him looking even angrier. He must look very intense, but without eyebrows or mouth. I'm very pleased at how fast this came together. There we go. Oh my gosh. Cute, cute, cute. I know, Maverick. It's been a long stream. My dog is ready to go outside. He's like, okay, that's enough. I kind of want to make the eyes green. Maybe a light purple. Nah, we'll just go black. That reads the best. The little butt, right? Super cute. Alright, so right now I'm just playing with shapes and proportions to make sure that I've pushed this as far as I can while still making it nice and readable. The scene does look a bit dark, so let me move my lighting around. That's better. Yeah, it's much better. And then I will be using my ZBrush to push some of these forms even further. Pretty much to look like armor. I might even do my little Q-mesh layering trick. I don't want to get too detailed on this. Chibis are tricky for that reason, because you want to add more, but it's going to make it not read as nicely. Something kind of like that. I think that's a decent start. I might want to add little shoulder blades too. Not shoulder blades. Little pieces of armor on the shoulder. Nothing too complicated though. Let's decimate down to 1000 points and then ZBrush. Because even though it's much simpler than Ray's model, I want to have it as without like as many of the same components as possible. Wow, Maverick. He is. Do you guys see him? My dog is like rolling around. Wow, I can't see him still. Hoop. There he is. He's just rolling around on the floor being cute. Hello. Making goblin noises as usual. Yeah, we're talking about you. Yeah, the angular shapes do help. I agree, Ray. Oh, sweet. Dragon said, I'm going to go through every suggestion for the Inktober equivalent later today. Mia, I'll need some questions answered if we do something more than yearly. Sounds great. Yeah, thank you. These are all things that I want to stay on top of, but I run out of time. So when you guys help, I really, really appreciate it. I have the best community, and I love that you guys also contribute to make it the best it can be. It literally takes a village. All right, and then he does need like a little breastplate. So let's get that figured out. This is a tricky one, but a good one. Y'all got some ideas in the chat? Oh, speaking of, that festival is live tonight. I will definitely be playing Monster Hunter tonight. Dragon said, Mia, I figured this is something that you didn't come up with, so we shouldn't expect you to deal with it by yourself for sure. Oh, that's really sweet of you. Thank you. I will definitely do my best to facilitate and make it as awesome as possible. Something kind of like that. Cute. I think I might want the eyes to be a lighter color, actually. Yeah, that's fun. A little Dark Knight. Oh, he looks ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Bunny says, he looks like a little acorn. He really does. I'm gonna add a small curve in the shield because just the fact that it's like perfectly straight looks weird. There we go. All right, Ray, what are you thinking? It's starting to really come together. And we don't even have to finish it today. So now I pretty much have just made it so he just isn't wearing pants. It's really cute. He is an acorn knight. Yes. Oh yeah, both the tailors can actually duel now, like legitimately. I did not think about that. Beautiful. All right, I need to add some little rocks to the base. Oh, you know what? No, I have some low poly rocks. Because they can't be too detailed. Here we go. Because I want the base to be more unique for this little dude. That's just a polysphere. Where's my little guy? There he is. I'm getting fast at these. All right. So what, made 3 models on stream today? Not mad about that. Let's give these a lighter gray color so they actually look like stones instead of part of the model. Ray said, can you make the little booties pointy at the top? Yes. Yes, I can. Little stones right here. There we go. So these need to have a point on them somewhere. I can do it here or on the sides, but I agree that some sort of like sharpness. A really easy way to do that, maybe. I'm thinking. Yep, that is looking better. Deciding how pointy I want to go. And it needs to point in towards the model a little bit just to keep like the direction flowing. I think I might want this pointing down too. I like it. RB says, if you have time, I sent you an update of the pose in Discord. That was quick. I was super excited to look at that tomorrow. Ray says, Mia, in case you missed it, I'd also say I really like the little guy, and also the original had no butt coverage. This is true. I didn't even think about that. That is perfect. No, I totally totally intentional, I mean. That's right, yeah, because it's just like hollow. What a happy accident. Totally intentional. Happy accident. Yay, pointy nose. Yeah, it looks good. Good call. And then the shoulder pauldrons that you had were on the rounder side. There we go. And these are pretty like messily modeled, but man, did they get the job done. Let's see if I can extrude just one poly loop right here. Not move points. There you go. There you go. It's actually looking pretty close to your model, except not at all, and very tiny and adorable. I know, my dog is throwing a tantrum down here. He's like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. It's like we're coming up on 4-hour stream. It's like, it is time for my attention. I know, Maverick. I think we're gonna call that good. Obviously, I need to add some subdivision levels and clean up some details, some clipping. But overall, that was a fun little dude that we just created. Oh my goodness. And Ray is giving Aloha the honor of naming him. Yes, because we have Buzz the bee, Moo the mushroom, and Blue the blooming cherry blossom. That's true. I could put him on my lap. Come here. Wow, he is. Whoa, okay. Yep, you have spawned yourself. Oh my goodness. Oh my, thanks for the big sneeze. Yep. Wow, you're being a bit of a spaz. Yep. You just flew up here, didn't you? You stink. Yeah, you look like the stinky dog right now. It's really humid here, so he just smells a little ripe all the time now. Don't you? I know. Hey, stinky man. Okay, you're way too excited to be up here. Nope. Maverick, get down. Very good. Ray says, Mia, thank you, by the way. Very generous to make the Tabber pet for playing. Of course, when you have that much, it seems like a good trade. Versus the chaos you could have reaped, I am also grateful. Thank you for not redeeming like 20 dice rolls. You'd be 10 technically, but 20 sounds more dramatic. Alrighty. I'm really happy with this too. This whole Tabber pet thing has been really, really fun for me. It's like a little refresher. Carl the Crusader. Oh, that's adorable. I love it. I love it. I love it. Carl the Crusader joins the Tabber pet crew on their journey through the ancient forest, swearing his loyalty and oath of protection. He may have lost his pants, but his dignity always remains. Oh, incredible. Someone must keep that. I have screenshotted that. Bam. Thank you. Oh, I need to change this because those are just boobs. Okay. There we go. Excellent. All right, y'all. That was a fantastic stream. Don't forget to like it if you haven't already because it super helps. Pretty sure all of y'all are subscribed at this point. And bam, a Discord invite for hanging out. Quest. Oh, that's really cute. Canon lore, 100%. Thank you, Aloha. The Tabberb, fallen Tabberb, god, goblin, demon, whatever you want to be today. All appreciated. Seriously, this was so much fun. I am getting a kick out of making these little dudes. They're looking super consistent and a little more refined each time. I think I can already see an improvement. I like it. I like it a lot. Goblin, god, demon. Ah, yes. Silly me. All right, guys. I'm losing my voice officially. Yes, I will join Yoni and I for the Wilds event tonight. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is updating the Grand Hub, so it'll be all cherry blossom themed, and I'm very excited. Oh, thank you so much, Grimnir, for the donation. Today was a lot of work. I extra appreciate that. Treat for Mia. Thank you so much. Seriously. I love to spoil y'all, but also because y'all spoil me. Seriously. I have the best job in the world. You guys are so much fun. Seriously. All of our little dudes. And I will be making stickers for all of these. I don't sell stickers. I'm starting to make them. Oh, here's a close-up of Moo before I go. So I took this 3D model and did some sketches, and then finally I refined it all in Procreate on my iPad. And so now I have a Taver pet. Doo-doo. Moo the mushroom. Bam! So I'm slowly making stickers out of all of them. So yeah. I don't have much of a reason to show off like any illustration capabilities I have, because this is about the extent of it. I'm not great with a pencil, but I'm good at illustration type stuff. Oh no, the ritual was a disaster. Undead rose in droves and dragged every living soul into the pit. Not even one necromancer escaped their wrath. Oh no. Reaper, dang, my first heist and we all died. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that sometimes. But yes, more stickers incoming, and then therefore more Taver pets will slowly fill the little bar down here. That's the plan, anyway. Gary said, so cute. They can be printable stickers. Yeah, I'm currently sticker shopping. I've made my own stickers before with like a printer and my Cricut, but like finding good sticker paper is like honestly a nightmare. So I'll probably just pay a company to make them for me. I do enough making. Yeah, then I can send them to you guys too. It'd be cheap. I can just do envelopes and postage. Yes. It's all coming together. All right, y'all. This was an absolute blast. Thank you again, Grimnir, for the donation, and for Ray for spending all of their point and not ruining my future streams by just doing tons of D20 rolls. Okay. I am going to relax now. This was a 4-hour stream. My brain is tired. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, around noon Eastern time. And join the Discord or subscribe on YouTube to get notified of that. And I'll see you then. Y'all take care. Bye. I saw you just donated, RB. Thank you so much for the second donation. I really appreciate that. When it come back, just say thank you for that. Thank you so much. There's my alarm. Okay. Thank you and take care. I appreciate you too.